Turtle Gang. Hit that like button as you come in. Of course, it's DOLLY.
Winds across the concrete. Cold shivers on my skin. Shades that cower in the darkness. The walls that couldn't keep us safe. And inside I keep on dying in this land of broken hopes and dreams. Someone cries out in the distance. The smell of burning tires and gas. Evil dwells in every alley. Despair has conquered every home. And inside I keep on dying in this land of broken hopes and dreams. I can live in this state and dystopia. Inside I keep on dying in this land of broken hopes and dreams. I can live in the state and dystopia.
What is up, my beautiful people? And thank you, Aaron, for being a member for 21 months of looking at my damn ugly face. Good morning, my beautiful people of YouTube. How is it going? Okay, you know, usually I get up in the morning and I try to read all the comments that you guys leave the day before. So, you know, the video I put out yesterday, I'll wake up today and I'll go over it, look at the comments, read everybody's comments, see what you beautiful people had to say. Okay. Now, let me tell you, when you tap in on Turtleboy, the whole Karen Reed stuff, you know, nobody cares about Baby Gap, right? But when you start tapping in on the Turtle Boy Karen Reed stuff. People get really mad when you don't believe their crazy conspiracies. Okay. Now, people act like you're stupid, like you can't watch the news and you can't read the same things they're reading. And they would be like, you would know she's innocent if you would do some research. Well, you know, I've been talking about it. Other people are talking about it. We've been debating it. And I still believe this lady is absolutely guilty. So it's like, if people don't believe their crazy conspiracy, that you just don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Okay. You're stupid. You're blind. You don't read, blah, blah, blah. So I was watching these extremely butthurt, let's just say straight butthurt Turtle Boy fans. Okay. The guy has been indicted. Okay. They added 3 more charges to his charges. I believe he may have court to damn day, you know, arraignment today. But he is in a world of trouble. Okay. He is in a world of trouble, and he's making it out to be like it's nothing, that this is all dealing with the First Amendment. He has the right to harass people. He has the right to show up at these games. He has the right to do all these things. I think myself, you know, and this is just my opinion, they're going to make a example. Noon today is what people are saying. He has court at noon today. He's facing a minimum of 40 years for the first 13 charges. Okay. Turtle Boy is in extreme trouble. And we still see people out there simping for him. And some people, they may be, even when he gets sued, they may get added to this suit, because we see people out here just picking up where Turtle Boy has left off. Especially like you see people like the Baby Cap repeating word for word what he says. Like, he watches his video, he puts a battery in his back, he jumps up online, and he repeats Turtle Boy word for word like a little bitch. Like, he can't come up with his own content, bandwagon ass jumping dude. Okay, now look, I said from the beginning, I don't know if Karen Reed did this on purpose or she did it as an accident. But the conspiracy they've spun, okay, you know, they've spun a big web of conspiracy, and all these people think they know what's going on by what Turtle Boy is saying. You know, the whole Google search, okay, the whole Google search of how long does it take to die in the snow. You know, if that's their defense, the prosecution is going to eat them up so easily. There's a professional that came out. He showed that these timestamps don't operate like that. Okay. You can search something. You can open a search window at one time and search something 10 hours later, and it will still come up that you opened it in that tab, that search tab, at a certain time. So I went over this blog yesterday of just a dude showing examples of how this operates. Okay. And this is what's going to be used in court against Karen Reed. That, you know, if they're trying to, you know, bank on this, oh, well, they were searching how long does it take to die in the snow, when this man, that ain't going to work. That's not going to work. And, you know, the whole thing on the tail light pieces, they're like, oh, there's no way. Okay. The vehicle was taken. Okay. When they took the vehicle, they did have access to the tail light. But at that point, there was an active crime scene. There was news reporters, everything outside of that home. There was, look, they act like there was no snow. There's a bunch of pictures of that night, and there's fucking literally a foot of snow on the ground. So Turtle Boy's people are spinning everything to their narrative, but they're going to feel a little bad when this all ends, because, you know, she goes to court March 12th. Turtle Boy, I truly believe they're going to make an example of him. Okay. They're going to make a complete example of him. And this may be a lesson for all these other YouTubers that show up at places, you know. Now, is it one thing for a real media reporter to walk up, knock on your door and say, hey, would you like to give an interview? And then usually when people say no, you go, okay, and leave. You don't keep outside their house. You don't start calling their house all hours of the night. You don't start talking shit about their family. You don't fire up live streams on them. And, you know, people act like this dude is a real journalist. I believe real journalists think this dude is an absolute joke. Okay. Absolute joke. And the way, he perceives this is in the end of this, he's going to be a rich man. Okay. Now, all you turtle riders out there, you ain't got to be mad at Dolly that I have a different opinion of you. Okay. I give people the chance all the time to get in the chat, to call in, give me their opinion on it, maybe try to change my mind. Okay. PJ's World gifted $1 membership. But I'm not about to go into some wild conspiracy with you when I discuss this, because there's still questions that, I don't have any answers for. There's a few of them. Why did she act the way she did? Why did she panic when she dropped him off when she knew where he was at? Why did she say, did I hit him? Okay. I mean, there's just as many things in this as I think turtle riders you could throw as in, well, why did they search how to die? How long does it take to die in the snow? Well, the same thing can apply to her. Why did she panic when she knew where he was at, when she dropped him off? Why is there no motive? Why is there no motive? And why attack people that don't have shit to do with it? That's been one of my biggest things, and I think in the end of this, Turtle Boy's in trouble and he's going to be a convicted felon when this is done. Okay. But I don't think, honestly, still, I don't think they're going to do that much to Turtle Boy. Okay. Turtle Boy has a pretty clean record from what I understand. The charges, the whole First Amendment, some of it maybe he has a little right to do. You have the right to protest and picket, but there's a point when people tell you to leave them alone or stay away from them, or even when they're witnesses in a case, So the people that, he's brainwashed and he's also got into trouble out there, they're raising money to try to get out of trouble. There was a 17-year-old kid that went to juvenile court for it. And apparently they've dropped charges on the kid for picketing outside of this pizza place. Now, that's one of my biggest problems with him is he's trying to attack a business. He's trying to hurt, this operation from going on from this family to make money, when there's nobody pointing the finger at this family but him. Okay. Now, if the police were out there pointing their finger at this family and saying, hey, this family is the number one suspect in this case, we believe they may have had something to do with the death of John O'Keefe, then I could say, hell yeah, stand outside that pizza place, raise some hell. But that pizza place had nothing to do with the night John O'Keefe disappeared. It has nothing to the man that owns the place. All he is the father of somebody that was at that house. So why to try to destroy this man's business? This is some whole blood in the pizza, QAnon type behavior, right? So it's hard for me to discuss things with people that are just doing what I believe is shit that's horribly wrong. Okay. Imagine, flip the coin in Turtle Riders. Imagine this was you. You didn't have nothing to do with this. Okay. Nothing to do with this. Next thing you know, you got a weirdo calling your names, screaming, with a bullhorn 10 times worse than Bullhorn Betty, weirder than fucking JLR, right? Just put that on yourself for a second. Would you want this going on to you that you had nothing to do with it? All you did was go out that night and have a few drinks with your friends, and now you got to deal with a pack of psychos on the internet that might as well join QAnon. Okay. The lady knew exactly where he was laying in a foot of fucking snow. Okay. Everybody's like, oh, there was no snow. You should have been able to clearly see him. It looked like a damn blizzard. I'm from Virginia. I ain't never even seen snow like that. Okay. I was looking at them pictures from that night and I was like, man, there's damn snow everywhere. These old ain't, it wasn't but like a 1 to 3 inches fell. Shit. Okay. Shit. So, let's see. Easy E says, Merry Christmas to you and PJ. Much love. Thank you, Easy E. Much love to you too. Merry Christmas to you and yours. I hope y'all have a good one. Stay safe. Definitely stay safe. Don't get behind any vehicles with Karen Reed driving it. Okay. Because this lady's out on bond, so she could run somebody else over as we speak. Now, me, I don't believe they should have gave her no bond. I can't believe that the judge can't see the crazy in her eyes. You know why? Because he needs him some dolly shades because he ain't seeing good, right? He needs to get some of these red and black dollies off the merch store by dollysoap.com, and he would be able to see what the hell is going on. Okay. And he gave this lady a bond. I wouldn't have gave her shit. I'd have been like, all right, go sit in the back, crazy ass lady. The eyes never lie. The eyes never lie. So with that said, you know, this lady says she's had Crohn's disease. She's had a brain tumor. She didn't have a brain tumor. You know what it's doing? It's giving me a brain tumor. Okay. And to watch the people sent for, it's like, and Baby Gap, why does he always simp for men? Okay. It's one of those questions I'll have to just ponder in my head. Indicted Turtle ass. I'm in South California. The snow looked bad. It definitely looked bad. Okay. When I looked at it, you know, like I said, it snows here in Virginia. We don't get a lot of snow. Okay. So when I looked at that snow, I was like, okay, that ain't 1 to 3 inches. That's damn 12 to, it was at least a foot of snow. Okay. We like maybe once a year, if we're lucky, it may snow that much here, you know, so we don't get that much snow. So when I looked at pictures, I was like, damn, there's snow everywhere. So they made it out to be like it wasn't nothing. That's how they act like the kids that these people wasn't fighting. And even I'm not putting that on them. I'm not blaming Karen Reed for purposely killing John O'Keefe. I don't think there is enough proof to say Karen Reed purposely killed John O'Keefe. Okay. But I am saying there's enough proof that she accidentally or a high probability killed him by hitting him with that car. It could have been a complete accident because she was drinking. Okay.
I'm in Southern California. That snow looked bad.
Snow definitely looked bad. And, you know, their argument is this. And look, I'm just going over some of the arguments, you know, and we'll pull up some of the stuff and we'll do a little deep dive into the Karen Reed stuff. We'll pull up some of the videos on it, see what some of the experts are saying on it, all that good stuff. You know, I've done this, you know, and I've come to my opinion, but I keep an open mind to everything always. Okay. I keep an open mind always to everything. I think Turtle Boy's a bad representative. Okay. I think because he's a fake ass dude. And if y'all can't see that, then that's just 100% on y'all. If I was to come up here and say, hey, I'm doing this for money, in the end of this, I'm going to be rich, I would be canceled. My viewers would be like, fuck this, we out. Okay. They would start packing bags. You would see my sub count drop like it this falling from a free falling. You know what I'm saying? You'd hear fucking Tom Petty in the background playing music. That's how quick my sub count would drop. But the Kool-Aid good. You know, the Kool-Aid's good because it sounds like it's for a good cause. We're fighting police corruption. And who don't want to fight police corruption? I seen some of the comments in the comment box. Oh, you don't know what you're fucking talking about. We're from Boston, Mass, man, and we know about the corrupt cops. That's why we back it. Well, let me tell you this. If every cop in your fucking town is bad, your DA is bad, everybody's bad, you got bigger problems. Okay. You got bigger. If that's how bad it is, that's how bad it is. Every cop there is bad. Every single cop. Look, that cannot be the case. That can absolutely not be the case. There's just absolutely no way that every cop there is bad. So you got, when that scene broke out, okay, that tail light, the car, okay, her car, you know, of course it was impounded. It was taken to the impound lot. Okay. So they had the car before they found the taillight pieces. Okay. And then of course they want to start the search because you got to remember in the beginning, John O'Keefe won't dead. All right. So this all had to play out. You know, this ain't something they pulled up. He's dead. Oh, this is a murder investigation. Okay. He was near death. John O'Keefe was. Okay. Of course, he was rushed to the hospital. Once he was at the hospital, he wasn't dead because he was put on life support. Okay. Then he fell to his wounds, which, of course, is the main wound was the fractured skull. The arm wound, of course, didn't kill him. Okay. He didn't die from what they call dog bites. I'm going to say I don't know what they are, but they don't appear to be dog bites to me. Now, if I had seen the car or if I could get up under the car to match anything, maybe I could say for sure, hey, this looks like something the car hit him, a muffler caught him or something when it backed up over him, right? But at no point does it show any wheels of the vehicle running over John O'Keefe, okay? Short legs. Merry Christmas, Turtle Gang. Bam! Okay? At no point does it appear that a vehicle has physically ran over John O'Keefe. It just appears he's been hit by a vehicle, okay? Because if he was ran over, of course, it would have crushed his legs. He would have had broken bones. He would have been in a lot worse shape than he is now. Hey, y'all. I miss you all. Merry Christmas, everyone. Merry Christmas to you, Bullhorn Betty. Hope everything is good with you this morning. Don't be wilding out on the internet with all these crazy people, okay? Relax. Take a deep breath. Start your day great. Start your day great. I'm drinking a cup of coffee. I'm pretty sure you're drinking a pot of coffee. It's a little bit different, but, it's all the same. Good morning, everybody. And if you're just tuning in, there's 300 of you here. Make sure you hit the like button.
Merry Christmas, Turtle Gong.
And look, just because this lady, Karen Reed is educated, got a good job, don't mean she's not capable of hurting somebody. Okay. There's people all the time in this world that are super educated. Damn Hannibal Lecter. Look at Hannibal Lecter. Okay. I know that's a movie character, but just think the concept. There's really smart people in this world that are dangerous. There's people that got plenty of money that kill people. All right. So we can't just be like, oh, well, she's smart and she wouldn't do that. No, some women, they get a little emotional. As a man, I know y'all are emotional creatures. Okay. So I know when you have a knife in your hand, don't say nothing. Okay.
Arm looks like road rash from the snowflake. Snow.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Just like the other night, PJ was washing dishes and I walked up and I was talking slick, you know what I'm saying? Just playing. And she was like, I don't know if you want to be saying that to me right now. And I looked over and she was cleaning the knife. And I was like, you know what? You're right. I don't know if I want to be saying that to you while you have a big ass butcher. And she had the big knife too, the one from the chopping block, right? So that was like the damn Michael Myers knife. I was like, okay, yeah, you're right. Cause you never know. Boop. Switch hit. I'm stabbed up. You know what I'm saying? We can't have that. We can't have Dolly dead. Okay. And there won't be no question. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure PJ's smart enough not to throw my body in the front yard where they find me. And that is my biggest argument to all these conspiracy people, right? Listen, I'm an idiot. And I'm sure all these police, they can't be a bigger idiot than me. Okay. There's no way humanly possible that these police are dumber than me. Okay. And I would not throw a body in the front yard. Okay. I just wouldn't do it. And these people, let's just look at it like they didn't do it. Okay. Just think about this. If they didn't do it, they're being tortured for absolutely nothing, for being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Now, if they did do it, okay, I'll give Turtleboy this. Look, if they did do it and there is some police corruption, yeah, I would say what you're doing to expose that would be okay, right? Some of it. When you rolled up on that lady and stuff, that breaks man law. You could get yourself really hurt doing that stuff. If you want to roll up on these dudes, I would say that's fine. But I wouldn't be rolling up on no women like that. Okay. Because instantly, if you was just to say PJ, me and PJ somewhere, and you ran up and said something slick to PJ, I'm going to be going to jail, and you most likely are going to be going to the hospital You know, because it's no talking about it. It's no, I'm saying I'm sorry. There's certain man things you don't do in this world, ladies, and you know this. Okay. If I know most of you out there watching, they're quick, your old man will punch somebody slam dead in the mouth. They say something slick to you. Just, it's fact. Okay. And he's inciting that. Okay. He's inciting that. He's trying to get punched in the mouth. That's what he wants. Okay. He wants the reaction from these people. And let me tell you, if I was in police, I'd have just said, fuck this badge, and you would have problems right at my kid's game, right? It'd be a scene, all right. It'd be a scene for sure. But that just seems insane to me. It's going a little bit too far, especially if he claims to be a journalist, you know, a professional, award-winning journalist, okay? Just, and before this, you know, he did sports news. I honestly think sports news he should have stuck with, but that ain't paying the bills. That ain't a big enough grift. But I hate to say it, I think he's betting wrong on the fact is this. Yeah, he's made some money. He's sitting back going, damn, I can pay my light bill, blah, blah, blah. I got all these people sending me money. That lawyer's costing him a lot of money, though, that's for sure. But I ain't saying he ain't dipping into that pot. You know what I'm saying? But what he don't realize is when these criminal cases are over, that's when the civil cases start. Because you can believe I'm an idiot. And if I owned that pizza place that you went out there and did that stuff and you've been harassing and all your viewers have been calling and ordering pizzas to people and fucking not picking shit up and causing this business to try to go out of business, he's winning 16 awards today. He damn sure is, right? He's winning. Hey, that is the best comment right there. I don't know if you guys can see it because she's watching on Facebook, but I'm going to pull it up onto the screen right there. He's winning 16 awards today. And Ashley, this is the person that he was actually harassing too. So there's a lot of people that he has bothered or harassed or blamed for things they ain't done or shit he is just completely made up, okay, for clicks and views to pad his pockets. If nobody believes that, then you telling me to do some research, right? These people telling me to do some research. I did. I researched into Turtleboy. I turned him on my YouTube. I watched him and I was like, what the fuck is this? You got to be kidding me. How much research do I need to do when a dude sits there openly and says he's doing it for money? He don't give two shits about police brutality, right? Let me tell you who gives a shit about police brutality. Me. You know who's had their ass kicked by the police? Me. Okay. Have you ever took it? He's crying about getting arrested at the bus stop. I've had my ass kicked by the police more times than I can even count. I've been handcuffed, body slammed on my head. I've been to jail in more states than I want to mention. Okay. And you don't see me screaming police brutality. Okay. You don't see it. All right. You just don't see it. Are there bad police? Hell yeah. And you know, I'm against bad police. But I think this is just a case where this dude has spun this conspiracy, blamed it on the police. He's got a small group of older women in that area that believe it because, you know, maybe there has been some bad police in that area, but that don't mean the whole police department, DA, everybody is corrupt. Okay, nah, you're right. Asking to donate to his is like clown fund. Regina Smith, thank you for donating a membership. Mad love to you, Gina. Merry Christmas. Spread love, says Dolly. Thanks for another year of laughs and facts. Merry Christmas. Look, if the police were blaming them, this is say the police were blaming them. They're suspects in this. I would understand what the Turtle
Dolly,
Riders are doing.
thanks for another year of laughs and facts. Merry Christmas.
You're welcome. And like I said, all I want for Christmas this year, there's no wish list or nothing. Just for you guys out there to join up, support the channel so we can go into the new year awesome. And if you're already a member, maybe gift a membership to somebody else for Christmas. And I think that's an awesome Christmas gift for Dolly. Y'all don't got to hit me up and ask me my address, where to send me shit. Nothing. Just become members and give a gift of a membership. And Dolly, good. All right, Dolly gonna have a good Christmas this year. I've been good. This is probably the first year, okay, that I should be on the good list and not the naughty list. Okay, saying I don't give a fuck how many times you got to check it. All right, I know for a fact I've been good this year. I've done nothing but good this year. I can't even think of nothing bad I did. Okay, so he skips my house this year. We taking a trip to the North Pole, and there is absolutely going to be problems. Okay, Jennifer, thank you for gifting a membership. PJ, thank you, babe, for gifting a membership. That is awesome of you. So everybody in the giving spirit. Turtle fan says, love you, Dolly and PJ. Big loves and hugs to each and every one of you. Have a Merry Christmas. Stay safe, guys. There's a lot of partying that goes on around this time of the year. People drinking and driving. And speaking of drinking and driving, Karen Reed, you see what happens. You know, this is a good time to use Karen Reed as an example because you go out partying. You know, with the holidays, everybody likes to get a little loose. Just be careful. You know, call it Uber. It's 1,000 times cheaper than a DUI. Okay. Trust me, I know. 1,000 times cheaper. Get Ubers, call you a cab, get a designated driver, anything you got to do. If you know you're going to be out drinking, don't take a chance with your life or somebody else's life this holiday season. Okay. If he gets convicted, the son of Sam law will apply and he won't be collecting his money. Oh, because he can't profit off of crime. Yeah, well, here's the thing is nobody gives a shit about Turtleboy anyway. Let's just say I was a producer at damn Angie B was gifting a membership. I'm a producer at damn Netflix, okay? And you're coming to me with a story. You could probably sell me the Karen Reed story, you know. But the Turtleboy story, nobody gives two shits, okay? You may be a YouTube documentary about you, you know what I'm saying? You know, but far as like them making a damn Tiger King series about Turtleboy, nah, bro, you're not entertaining. And you don't raise lines. And
if he gets convinced, the son of Sam law will apply and he won't be collecting his money.
Yeah, guys, give me 1 second. My dryer is going off and it is driving me crazy because it rings like a bell. It plays like a chime, like some weird damn music. Okay. Samsung. Okay. Give me a second. I gotta like, if you don't literally go hit the button, it will do it like a seatbelt in a car for like 3 hours. So give me 1 second. Let me go stop my dryer. And I'll be. Okay, I'm back with you. That will drive you crazy. Okay. Because I'm usually one of them people that like are just like when the dryer goes off, I'll pop the door. I'll get the stuff out of it when I get a second. But my dryer, if you leave the door open, it beeps. If you don't cut the power off, it beeps. And it never stops beeping. Like it'll beep for like an hour. So it's like as soon as I go to do something, it'll start beeping and I'll be too busy to go cut it off. So then I got to hear it beep for like 20 minutes, you know, until I'm like, oh shit, let me go cut this dryer off. It'll drive you crazy. Turtleboy is pretending to have a movie deal and pretending to Netflix producers. He thinks it's about him. That's what I'm saying. Turtleboy don't realize that he's just a clown in this. You're not even the important part of the story. You know, Karen Reed is. Like, you know how you didn't cut Karen Reed in on, you know, selling the t-shirts and the hoodies and all the things you were doing with her name on it? Okay. I should stand out there at the 12th and sell bootleg free Karen Reed shirts. Okay. Look, I'll cut you a better deal, people, than Turtleboy is. All right. I print t-shirts. I'll go out there with some free Karen Reed shirts and I'll sell them to you for $10 cheaper. All right. Cut you a deal because Dolly cool like that. Okay. I'll be out there saying she's guilty as shit and still sell you a free Karen Reed shirt. Okay. I'm American. America. It's the American way, right? Like, yo, get your free Karen Reed shirts, right? And then after I sell it to you, I'd be like, lock her up. All right. Anyway, so like I said she had Crohn's disease, brain tumors. She don't remember going to the house, but none of like they don't talk about those things because they only talk about what fits their narrative. Oh, well, this lady searched how long it takes to die in the cold. But we know now that she did. She searched it that following morning when he was laying out there almost dead. Oh, still in his grift. That would put Dolly on his shit list. Okay, I mean, if you can use her name, we can all use her name, right? Can I use her name? Because you know me, I'll put out a free line, Karen Reed line tonight. It'll look cooler in your shit and everything. I have my artist working right on that bitch, you know. How much you selling for? I'll sell $1 cheaper. $10 cheaper than yours. All right. So it's a grift. It's a grift to him. Like, think about that. If you was on trial facing your life and you got some asshole out on the street making money off of your name, okay? You fighting for your life. Karen Reed, think about this, Karen Reed, if you watch this. You know, you got the internet. You look like you got a Lexus. I'm pretty sure you got an iPhone 15 with YouTube on it, okay? And I'm sure you search your name just like everybody does. So, where was I going with this? I forgot that quick. I guess it wasn't that important. That wasn't that important. She will not like prison. Oh, but this man is out here actually physically making money off your name. You're struggling to pay your lawyers, according to you, okay? Your legal expenses, because that's why you want your bond money back, all right? So you can pay your legal expenses. But this dude has made more than $80,000 off of it. You want your $80,000 bond back. This dude's done made over $80,000 off your name. That ain't counting T-shirt. That ain't counting Venmo. That ain't counting PayPal. That ain't counting Cash Apps. That's just counting that. Okay. His fundraisers have done that. Now look, he's raised all this money for him, right? But you look at the 9 people that went to jail, he ain't gave them no money. They got to raise their own money. Why don't Turtleboy give you some of the money he's made off of Karen Reed? Okay. What do you think? Look at how many people are wearing them free Karen Reed hoodies. Like, where's that money going? Okay. Why don't he help some of these people that are in trouble? There's no way his court, it could end up being $100,000, right? But I don't think he spent that on it. And why don't he help some of these other people that are in trouble? Why don't he give them some of the free Karen Reed t-shirt money or hoodie money? You know, the money that he says it goes straight to him. That's his money, right? I could get it if he was selling indicted turtle ass, gifted 1 membership. Thank you so much. I could see if he was selling, I'm going to sell free Turtleboy hoodies. Okay. I'm going to sell free Turtleboy hoodies outside the jail. Wait, when did he go to court? I'll show up. I'll sit outside of that bitch and I will sell free Turtleboy hoodies. Okay. Seems okay to me. You know, he's selling free Karen Reed shit. He ain't Karen Reed. I should be able to sell free Turtleboy hoodies to his people. Okay. At discount prices, better than his. Okay. Free Turtleboy. I got them in extra large, smalls. Let's make some money. America. Okay. I'll sell hoodies and counter protest. Sounds like a plan to me. Merry Christmas, Dolly, PJ, mods, and everyone in the chat. Angie B, Merry Christmas to you. It is good to see you. I'm glad you could be here with me this morning. Now, you know, I mix a lot of jokes with the truth, but I still think what this man is doing is pretty horrible. What he's done, and what makes it worse for me is, because I watched him right after they shut his ass down, and he was pretty much trying to get other people to do his dirty work. Okay, trying to get people to continue what he was doing, to keep that momentum of harassment and that stuff going. I hate that. Okay, because look, there's stupid people out there. I hate to say it. Sometimes I may fall into that category that will believe just any damn thing. Like, look at Baby Gap. Okay, this dude, he clearly he is an echo chamber. He was not protesting. I was kidding. That's why I said there's a lot of jokes mixed in with my truth. Okay, some things I'm playing about. If you know my sense of humor, you know I'm playing. Okay. Good Lord. I ain't joking though. I would show up and sell some fucking free Turtleboy hoodies though. You know what I'm saying? Test me. Say I won't. Say I won't. Say the hell I won't. Okay. I've been looking for reasons to visit places. Okay. I'm trying to see the country. You know what I'm saying? Give me a reason. Give me a reason to sell some damn t-shirts somewhere. You won't. See, PayPal me said it. That's it. That's we it's getting down now. It's getting down. We there. Who's coming with me? Who wants, raise your hand if you want to go to the Karen Reed trial with me. Raise your hand, press 1. Okay. It's March 12th. If you want to go with me, we're gonna convoy. We're gonna convoy, hang out. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna have us a turtle shindig. We can slide around the benches in court like JLR. Everywhere the camera moves, we'd be like, that's award-winning journalist right now.
You are not protesting. Hand over mouth. Woman face bombing.
I know, PJ. I know. I'm just playing. I definitely hang out with you at the Turtleboy trial. Okay. I wasn't going to the Turtleboy trial. I was just saying Karen Reed. I was going to go to the Karen Reed one. Because I'm sure that'll be, something cool. Plus, I got some people that way. Right? I got some people I like to visit while I'm there. So when I do come that way, I want to visit my old drummer, things of that nature. So I got some people there. So I got to get a hold of them. I ain't talked to them in a little bit. Captain Kurt reacts. What's up, brother? Good to see you. How's it been? Anyway, there should be certain standards. Like, you shouldn't mess with people's families, like especially women. Like, see, that was my biggest problem when he rolled up on the girl. Right? If you got a problem with these dudes that were in the house that you say killed this dude they didn't kill, I think you should roll up on them more than you should roll up on their wives and their kids and shit like that. Because a woman ain't gonna punch you in the mouth. Okay, her husband, you're probably not so confident in. And the grift is crazy. So I hate to be like this for you turtle riders, because this is going to end. And if it don't end in your favor, y'all going to seem really, I don't know. I think y'all believe it so much. If she's found guilty and Turtleboy's found guilty, y'all will still say she's innocent. If the courts find her guilty and a jury finds her guilty and a jury finds Turtleboy guilty, y'all will still be out there screaming she's innocent. And for all these people that think this is going to be tried in the court of public opinion, it's not. It's going to be tried in the court of law. So whatever the fuck y'all out there screaming, it don't matter. Y'all ain't going to be doing that in the courtroom. Okay? In the courtroom, it's going to be Karen Reed, the prosecutors, and her lawyers. What the hell y'all screaming outside that court don't have two fucks to do with what's going to happen inside that courtroom. What are they going to ride? They old. What are they going to throw their walkers? Come on now. Let's get real. What are they going to ride? The group's 100 people. All right, this ain't them a Black Lives Matter protest where they shut the city down. This is a bunch of old disgruntled white people. Okay, they don't shut shit down for that. They're like, get out the fucking way before you go to jail. That's what they do. Okay, this is a different type of protest. All right, this ain't burn the city down. You think they convict Karen Reed? They gonna burn the city down? No, hell no, hell no. They're gonna be like, damn, all right, let's go home. Later, Turtle Boy. That's how it's gonna go. We tried. This ain't no damn Rodney King trial. Okay, nobody gives two shits like that. Okay, there's just a small look. Think about how many people are in that town and how small that group is compared to how many people are in that town. It's not a huge group. But if Karen Reed goes down, that town is going with it. Okay. Old white people gonna burn down Starbucks. All right. Whole Foods. You're in trouble. They're gonna loot Whole Foods. Target. You better shut down the door and lock Target up quick. Mad white people. Mad white people. Okay. Close Target by 9. White people are mad. Not the same. Not the same effect. Okay. Just not the same. I've never heard of any of those people besides this chick on trial. So I wonder what's in that stocking. It looks strange. Oh, the stocking on my screen. Oh, when you donate, it puts stuff in the stocking, like it drops it into the stocking. So like when like somebody, it just says your super chat, whatever you super chat comes up across the top of the stocking, and then it drops little stocking balls into the damn stocking. I don't know. It's Christmas time. I needed something Christmassy to put the hell up there, and it looked like Christmassy. Okay, it'll come down right after Christmas. Good morning, Joneson. Good to see everybody. Like I said, you know, Baby Gap, he's up there screaming, oh, I would debate people, but you know, you see how stupid Queen Bee and they are. You can't debate them. And he said, me, you know, Dolly's an idiot. All he wants to do is talk about my dog, my shirt, my dick. Okay. Nobody talks about your dick, dude. You talk about you be the one sending e-jacking pictures to your homeboys. You like to see homeboys naked. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Okay. I could care less. You know what I'm saying? You can do all the e-spanking you want to do to pictures of Turtle Boy late at night. You know, why you wear pleather dressed like damn Rob Halfer or fucking Judas Priest. Look, this is a free world. God gave you free will. Okay. If you want to lube yourself up in body grease all night long and roll around, you can do whatever you want to do. Okay. But if you start buying peanut butter, we send in fucking PETA. I just want you to know, right? I just want you to know. And we working on getting you a shirt. So I'm going to cover everything today. Your dick, your abuse of that dog, and your tight ass shirt. Okay. I think did I cover that pretty swiftly for you guys? Okay. Your man on man love. You know what I'm saying? We just leave it at that. That shit's strange. Okay. And these begging Turtle Boy people, don't take the bait. I even put take bait, hashtagged it in the video. Okay. Don't take the bait. Don't take the bait. Baby Gap don't want people to hear about him. He don't want them new people that don't know what he is to know. To me, that's funny. And that's one of the reasons I've been staying on his neck, because he's trying his best. He's trying his best to be like, to leave like he can just leave. We like the Bloods around here. Once you in, you in. You can't just leave. You think we just gonna let you leave in Krama? You think you just gonna pack up and fucking be like, oh, I'm gonna go over here with some new people? No, no, that's not happening. We following you, okay? We officially now, we Turtle Gang, we Turtle Riders with Baby Gap. We following you, homeboy. We ain't letting you leave. We ain't letting you leave. We ain't letting you get away with your bullshit like that, okay? Let me see it drop in the stocking. Also, good morning. Thank you, Johnson. You ain't got to give me your money, but I will spend it. Merry Christmas to you, Johnson, and your chickens. Okay, Merry Christmas to George, whatever you named the other ones. Okay, let's see if it pops up, because I ain't seen it in a minute. It should do it. Watch. It's a little delayed because, you know, it just is what it is. Okay, I don't know what that means, PJ. All right, it's taking a minute for this to pop up. So when it pops up, I'll get back. I'll be quiet so we can. Okay, see it up top now?
Let's see it drop in the stocking. Eyes. Also, good morning.
See it drop into the stocking? Ooh, one just flew out. Put my money back, bitch! Oh no, hell no. We might have to get rid of that stocking. All right. I just seen one pop out. I hope that wasn't a dollar bill that just popped out that stocking. Better stuff that bitch back in there. Hell, don't be dropping my shit. Okay. Good Lord. Turtleboy picking that shit up. He be like, yo, I got that. You know what I'm saying? That'll go to his legal fund. Okay. Whatever flies out the stocking goes to Turtleboy's legal fund. I'm going to donate. I honestly will. Okay. No, I won't. Yeah, no, I won't. I damn sure won't. Donate to what? Oh, hell no. That's just like, look, if people want to help this man, you know, because he got himself in a legal situation, then help the man. Okay. Kaylin says, Merry Christmas, Dolly and PJ and beautiful turtles. Hey, Kaylin. Good morning, you. Good to see you. I hope you're having a great holiday. Boom. I see all kind of shit flying out my stocking. We got problems. We need another stocking. Okay. Jones has been a member for 2 months. Damn, Jones, and how time flies. How time flies. I see there's a lot of drama swirling on these internet streets. You know, I'm trying to stay out of all that stuff till, you know, the holidays are over. I want everybody to have a happy holidays, even the people I hate your face. Okay. If I hate your face, I still want you to have a great Christmas. Okay. Everybody truly do. After Christmas, there's a few of you I might come for your necks. Okay. Just, you know, just know that. Right now it's just more smokes and jokes to me, you know. But don't test my gangster. Don't test my damn gangster. All right. Dolly be seeing just because I ain't reacting don't mean I don't know. Okay. Don't. Just because I ain't damn Ebenezer Scrooge, okay? And I want everybody to have a happy holiday just like me, and I'm on a good list. I'm on a good list.
Merry Christmas, Dolly and PJ and beautiful turtles. Turtle, heart, 2 hearts.
Okay, and I want to say this. I don't know exactly what viewer. I'll have to look. Oh, shit. I see shit flying out. Thank you. But somebody sent me, I'll have to go pull the card, 2 little AK-47s that shoot these little water pellets. Okay. We got 2 of them, one for me, one for PJ. And we about to be in this bitch like the Gaza Strip. Okay. We about to be full war. So whoever sent the little guns, oh, that's awesome. See, that's somebody that knows Dolly. No, I'm a big ass kid. PJ is in trouble. But then again, PJ is like a Croatian assassin. Okay. She's strapped up from the floor anyway. So I might get scared that she might reach for the fake one and grab the real one. And then next thing you know, I'm like Brandon Lee in the fucking Crow movie. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if that was a good thing to send PJ any weapons, but it looks like a cool, as long as you don't really get me. You know what I'm saying? Oh, I thought it was that one. You know what I'm saying? Did that shit feel plastic? Next thing you know, Dolly dead. Mr. and Mrs. Smith, you're still alive, baby. There you go. You're still alive. So, but thank you for the gifts. Somebody sent me an awesome blanket. Cool things. That's
Merry Christmas.
Y'all guys are awesome. So, and it came from Santa. It was labeled Santa. That's who sent it. I keep forgetting. I was like, that's why I didn't know who sent it. Santa. It said Santa on the box. I wonder what Baby Gap Santa hat will look like. I thought that beanie he wore, that tight ass beanie, was his Santa hat. Okay. I thought that was his Santa hat. Who knows? Who knows? Okay. Even I want Baby Gap to have a great Christmas. Okay. Turtle Boy too with your kids. Have a great Christmas, man. After that, though, you're probably going to go to jail and I'm going to laugh at you. But still, I don't want nobody's holidays bad. And there's really two things I don't wish on people, and I make it clear. I don't wish death on nobody, and I don't wish jail on nobody, because I wouldn't want that on myself. Okay. But I'm not wishing jail on Turtle Boy, because Turtle Boy seems like he's wishing jail on himself. It's like he's trying to get locked up. Like, are you trying? Like, I tell you this, if I was in this situation, he should just be quiet for a little bit, clear his legal situation up first before he continues to do these things, because, you know, it don't take much to get yourself back in trouble. And yeah, right now you're out on a PR bond.
I wonder what Baby Gap's Santa Claus hat will look like.
It will be tight and leather. Well, pleather. Okay. Oh, look at that. Oh, shit. Every time I say it, something falls out. Thank you for your donation. Guava. What is that? Guavi girl? What is that? I didn't see it. Something girl. Thank you so much. And I just got lost. Every time I go to look at that damn stocking, I forget what I was about to say. My short-term memory is about gone. Okay, about gone. Give me a second. We're going to pull up some recent stuff from the stuff on Karen Reed. Like I said, she was out $80,000 bond. She wants the bond money back because apparently life bills and paying for her legal expenses. And they want this money back because they're saying there's evidence that are coming out that points towards her innocence. Okay. Now, me, myself, we don't even know 100% what the prosecution got yet. Okay. We're getting little clues of what, Groovy Girl. Okay. Groovy Girl. It was spelled like some other way though. It wasn't spelled Groovy Girl, but if it's pronounced Groovy Girl, thank you, Groovy Girl. That's awesome of you. Thank you, PJ. All right. I thought it was Guavi Girl, but then again, I don't have my glasses on, and shit happens. I said more times than Baby Gap. This one, I keep forgetting where the fuck I'm talking about. I'm like, short term. The commercial bounced me out of the chat. I was typing. I don't think that is supposed to happen. Happy holidays, SoFlo. I had to get me some pleather now. Okay, maybe get me some pleather and a big ass dog that I don't take care of. Maybe that is contagious. I didn't call it the from Baby Gap. Oh my god, it's like an ear infection. You wake up and the first sign is The commercial always bounces you out of the chat. I didn't even know I had commercials on. Okay. I just fire these babies up like that, like Bruce Lee. All right, give me a second. We're going to pull up some stuff on Karen Reed. And we're just going to go over it. We're going to hear what people have to say about it. Things of that nature. All right, let's see. We'll go on this one. We'll go Dateline. All right, let's jump over here. Let's share this video with you guys. Let's watch a little bit of stuff on Karen Reed, what some of the experts have to say. You know, we'll maybe even go over some of the paperwork a little bit, because these people say, hey, well, you ain't read the fucking documents. So let's go over some of the documents. Let's look over some of the case a little bit. I don't think that's going to change my mind any. Stop saying, Dolly. We will have to send you an extra small t-shirt. Well, I can tell you now, my fat ass ain't fitting in no extra small t-shirt.
Outside this courthouse in Canton, Massachusetts, supporters swarmed around
The Kool-Aid must be good, boy.
Karen Reed. charged with murder in January 2022 death of her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe. Reed has strenuously denied the allegations.
I did not kill John O'Keefe. I've never harmed a hair on John O'Keefe's head.
Her defense, bare-knuckled and bold, is making national headlines. Her lawyers alleging in court documents that a fellow...
There's the dog bites. They say a dog bites. Me, myself, to me, that is not dog bites. But, you know, and this is one of their biggest arguments, you know, that this dog attacked this man inside the house. But here's the thing. Why would they can't tell me why. There's nobody, if somebody got a motive out here, if one of the Turtle Riders or one of the Turtles people are in the room for some reason, give me a reason. Give me a motive, guys. All right, just give me that. Give me something to say, okay, y'all are not fucking crazy. Because I haven't heard nobody give a motive of why they would kill this man. And look, people don't kill you for nothing in this world. I mean, there has to be a reason. Like, he doesn't just walk in his house and all of a sudden they was like, all right, let's kill this man. There's an escalation to wanting to kill somebody, or you could say, well, a little fight broke out and he died and they just threw him outside. It still don't, but why? But why would they be fighting? It don't even make sense. And why would everybody be lying, including the paramedics, all the people that, why? It just, give me a reason. That's all I ask.
Police officer was involved in O'Keefe's death and colluded with...
And if I have an echo, please let me know, because something's been going on with YouTube and StreamYard, where when you play shit, it's been echoing.
Other people in a cover-up.
You're alleging that law enforcement officials in this state committed murder and that they're covering it up. Why would they want to be involved in this?
Because he's dead. I think things went too far. It was late. There was alcohol involved, but they're all family. And there's many of them involved.
After posting bail, Reed has spent much of the past 18 months in and out of court awaiting a trial date.
And me.
Okay, so they're covering this up because they're all family. Let me tell you this. I got family that would slam on me. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if the family's going to cover up a murder for you. My family, like, they love me, right? I'm sure they do. But they're not going to be involved in a murder cover-up with me, so they go to prison right along with me. Okay,
Me and my family and my attorneys and my team have marshaled every resource to get to the truth. It just feels like no one else wants it.
Prosecutors allege that Reed hit O'Keefe with her car after getting into an argument earlier in the day, leaving him to die in the middle of a snowstorm.
Now look at all that snow. Now, like I said, we don't even see snow that deep here where I'm at in Virginia. Right, but she knew exactly where he was at, and their whole argument that the snowplow driver would have seen him, okay, would have definitely seen him. Now look, like I've shared stories that my neighbor was shot. I walked right past him. I drive down the street, and I drive like most people. I'm watching the street. I'm watching kids crossing the street. I'm not looking up in people's yards and things like that. I've drove down my street 1,000 times that I live on. And I can't tell you one thing that's in my neighbor's yards off the top of my head. You know what I'm saying? I just couldn't. Like, I mean, you may glance at something, but you're not looking. How often do you drive down the street looking for a body? Okay. You know, the snowplow driver, he driving around like he always does. Same routine. He probably was listening to damn Molly Hatchet, cruising, didn't see it, kept on moving. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about, oh, well, snowplow, he sits up, they would have seen him. Well, let me tell you this, snowplows, drivers run over people all the time. People get killed by snowplows all the time. Okay. It happens. Like, I'm surprised y'all ain't out there saying a snowplow hit him. Okay. Well, he got out the car and a snowplow hit him. Karen Reed ain't guilty. I'd believe that more. You know what I'm saying? Than the cops killed him and threw him in the fucking front yard.
In January 2022. But Reed says she had no reason to harm her boyfriend.
I would call him the patron saint of cancer.
Okay, well, you did, because you did have a reason, because he wanted you to leave. Okay, the kids made that clear. The kids said that y'all were arguing and fighting. Okay, Miss Karen Reed, and that he wanted you to leave, and you refused to leave. You look like one of those clingy bitches, right? It was like, oh, I'm not leaving. You stuck with me forever. Okay. You're kind of clingy. You look like you might be a little Klingon.
Canton. He was just very selfless, frugal, and I think you'd be hard pressed to find anyone that didn't care for John.
The couple.
But you notice when she's talking about John, all the good things about him, she never shed a tear. She never had a sniffle. Nothing, right? No emotion when she talked about him. Like if I had, lost, if somebody murdered my loved one, and I would be upset, right? It's just like, hey, I don't buy it. I damn sure don't buy it.
First dated in their 20s and reconnected more than a decade later in the middle of the pandemic.
So how did you meet up again?
He had reached out to me on Facebook and he said, hey, blast from the past, how's things? And when I saw his picture, his profile picture was with several young children. And then it triggered my memory that his sister and his sister's husband had passed away. And he told me, yeah, I have the kids now. I admired that. I thought that was amazing.
Soon, Reed says she became part of the family, often sleeping over at O'Keefe's house and helping take care of the kids.
He would go to work and I would stay with his niece and nephew. All of the
I don't think the kids liked you. You know what I'm saying? The kids are the ones that said y'all were fighting and that he wanted you to leave.
breaks that the kids had, we did something.
But their relationship also had its struggles. Reeve says O'Keefe had been relying more on her to take care of the kids and that he criticized some of the decisions she made with them.
We had had an argument on New Year's Eve. We were away on vacation and he became incoherently drunk. And I ended up ringing in the new year with his niece and nephew. John didn't come back to our room till after 3 a.m. So that was rough. I felt very much taken advantage of.
Okay, listen to this. Even in this interview, it's about her. I this. And she's shitting on him right there, saying, he was blacked out drunk. Let me tell you who was blacked out drunk, woman. You were blacked out drunk the night you ran that man over. Okay, to sit up there like this shit right here, Turtleboy, y'all. I can't mess with y'all. This woman is so cold. Karen blaming him about being drunk. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. She is calculated. She is cold. If you people cannot see this, you have never dated a crazy woman. Okay. I have dated fucking shit tons of crazy. This could be a woman I dated. I got to look at my book to make sure her number ain't in there. Okay. Cause I know this woman's crazy. I can look at her and tell it's about me. It's about me. It's about me. Poor me. I'm the victim. This is bullshit is what it is.
Apologized profusely for what happened on New Year's Eve. And he said, if you can't get over it, then you need to spend some time at yours. I can't keep apologizing. I don't want to keep rehashing this.
A few weeks later,
yeah,
they were invited to meet up.
You didn't want to rehash it because you one of them bitches you can't argue with. You can't argue. What do you hear that? You see how she was. Oh, I didn't want to keep rehashing this. I didn't want to keep going back because it's your way or you're fucking evil, lady. You know what I'm saying? Like if y'all can't see that, if you cannot, I see it as a man. I swear to, I see it as a man all day long. If I ain't dated Karen Reed, I dated a chick just like her. I swear to Jesus, boy.
With some friends at the.
But see, now I got me a good girl. Okay. That won't run me over with the car. She wouldn't leave me.
Waterfall Bar in Canton. And there they ran into Brian Albert, a fellow Boston police officer who Reed says O'Keefe looked up to. Albert had led the city's gang unit before commanding the fugitive apprehension team. It was the elite squad responsible for taking down some of the city's most dangerous criminals and featured in the 2013 TNT show, Boston's Finest.
1 minute we're walking around, everything's fine, and then 1 minute it's not fine.
Both times I met Brian Albert, he seemed like the type of person that you'd be surprised he's out socially because he doesn't seem like he ever wants to be there.
But at the bar, Reed says there was an invitation to continue hanging out at Albert's home.
I said, can we make sure we're welcome here? Nobody extended the invite to me. I didn't hear the invite extended to you.
They drive to the Albert's house. What happens next?
Okay, so look. He was invited by the text messages because the woman's telling him where to park the car. But it was one of those things they didn't ask her. So she was probably bitching, right? Didn't want to be there. This is probably what caused the argument between them. Okay? Think about it. Well, they didn't invite me. Well, they don't have to invite you. You're a couple. If one person invites one of you, usually that means you're both invited. Okay. When somebody comes and say, hey, Dolly, you want to do this? I include PJ in that. Okay. PJ includes me. So you might not say, hey, Jimmy or Dolly, but they know you're a couple. They're inviting. When somebody asks you, they're inviting both of you. But she had it in her mind, oh, well, they didn't ask me, blah, 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 blah. She seems like one of those kind of people.
Is disputed.
So I pull at the foot of the driveway. It's snowing. John has no coat on. It's windy. So I drop him off. He goes up the driveway and approaches the side door. And as I see him approach the door, I look down at my phone.
Reed says after about 10 minutes of waiting in her car, she became irritated that O'Keefe still hadn't gotten in touch with her.
That is a lie, guys. This is where she's starting to lie. This is where it gets bad, because listen, PJ would have came up to the door, beat on the fucking door. I'm leaving you if you don't come now. I know her good enough to know she's just not going to pull off and leave me out there. Okay. Then go home and then panic. That does not make sense. That does not make sense whatsoever.
And she drove back to his home, where she continued calling him before she says she fell asleep around 1:30 in the morning. She then says she woke up before 5 a.m. He still wasn't home. She then started canvassing the neighborhood.
Just going to drive around in the 2 square miles that we spent the preceding night.
After 20 minutes of unsuccessful searching,
why would she be searching for him? He's not missing yet, right? She don't know anything's happened to him. So she just wakes up in the middle of the night and assumes she definitely has the crazy eyes. I know. So many look. That's why you turtle riders can't argue with me, right? Because I'm just going to hit you with the eyes. I'm going to be like, man, you explain that woman's eyes to me. Okay. That chick could be Brian Kohlberger's mama. You know what I'm saying? She got a little bit of Ted Bundy in her ass. If y'all don't see the crazy in this woman and how that she's controlling and mean, then I don't know. Maybe some people may be a little controlling and mean in themselves and they seem it as normal. But for a guy, that's not normal behavior to be controlling and things of that nature. And that's what she's seen. You heard her say you couldn't argue with her. That just shows you her demeanor. She's a mean ass lady.
She called John's friend, Carrie Roberts, and Jennifer McCabe, Brian Albert's sister-in-law, who was also at his house the night before. The 3 women together now headed to Albert's home.
How soon was it when you pulled in there that you saw John's body?
Immediately. And what struck me when I saw him.
She saw it immediately. But guys, you've seen how much snow was on the ground, right? We just seen how much snow was on the ground. He was covered in snow. He was literally covered in snow. He was buried in snow. How did she instantly see him? And from witnesses, she's seen him when they broke the corner. Okay. Not when they pulled up to the house. When they broke the corner, she was screaming, there he is. Okay. So she knew exactly where he was at.
His mouth was open a little bit and his eyes were shut and he had spots of blood in different areas on his face.
O'Keefe was taken to the hospital and pronounced dead. He died from blunt force trauma and hypothermia. And it wasn't long before Reed became the #1 suspect. Authorities say they had noticed.
See, that's a little misleading. He went to the hospital and he was pronounced dead. Okay. It sounds like he was pronounced dead instantly. He was not. He was put on life support and died later. Okay. This is how the news ABC should have worded it correctly. He didn't die immediately. They made it sound like he did.
A cracked taillight after they seized her car.
I had told both Jen and Carrie that I cracked my taillight. I said I just hit my car on top of everything, but I didn't look at the damage. And both women said,
okay, is that who wrecks their fucking Lexus and don't look at the damage? Okay, let me tell you this. I drive an old ass Chevy. If I back into something, I get out and look at it. He could have been put on life support for organ donation, though. I don't think that's the case, but we will go with that. Okay. He didn't live long after getting to the hospital. anyway. So it's really, that don't matter. That's not really an arguing point. He was falling victim to his injuries anyway from that house. At the hospital really don't matter if he died there or if he died an hour later or 20 minutes later, he died. That's, you know, it don't change anything in the whole thing. And her statements to the paramedics, could I have hit him? You know, we do know now that the search results were made in the morning time. They wasn't made at the time that conspiracy Turtleboy alleges, okay, because there's going to be some evidence that comes out that how these tabs work when you open them, and that you could search for things hours and hours later and it still says the time that you opened the tab. There's a whole blog section out for it. PJ, hold on, I still have it pulled up. I will post a link to it right here and you can take a look right now. Copy right here. Let me go back to StreamYard. And this is about how the timestamps work when you search something on your phone, your iPhone, your device of that nature. And that is the blog to it right there. And right there is what they're going to use against, you know, if she tries to say, well, they're searching this. Well, this was searched because y'all were outside together that morning and you were going, is he dead? Is he dead? And this woman searched, how long does it take to die in the cold? You know, just trying to see if he would make it. And now y'all spinning that as she knew he was out there dying. Now, if she was out there trying to help you find him, why would she wouldn't have just said, well, they beat him up, he's laying in the yard? You know, the whole thing don't make sense. Your story is bullshit.
It's cracked.
And it's emotionless. Okay. She don't have feeling. She don't have feeling. And that's serial killer shit.
Cracked. Calm down. You cracked your taillight.
And didn't look.
You're okay. Let's go look for John.
But according to police statements, Jennifer McCabe told authorities that while they were looking for O'Keefe,
but there was no cracked taillight found at John O'Keefe's house. The only place there was broken taillight found is at the house John O'Keefe's body was at. Okay. Facts.
Reed stated, could I have hit him? Did I hit him? And when O'Keefe's body was discovered, first responders who arrived on the scene say they overheard Reed make other statements.
Firefighter said that you said, I hit him, I hit him, I hit him.
I said, I hit him. It was preceded by a did and proceeded by a question mark. What I thought could have.
Okay. Well, when you say something, you don't say it was preceded with a question mark and all these things. You're out there saying, did I hit him? Could I hit him? You were saying these things. Okay. Nobody forced you to say this. You know, she reminds me of Laura Vallow. Exactly, guys. I think y'all get it, you know, and, I think it's easy to see. And I have a hard time with, you know, I keep an open mind to everything, and I don't hate turtle riders. You know, I believe that some of you guys are fighting against police corruption, and that's why you're doing it. But you don't realize this is not a case of police corruption. You're just misinformed because you have a guy out there spreading misinformation. Okay. And he's good at it. So you got somebody that's good at spreading misinformation and riling people up. And y'all are just overlooking the fact that this is a crazy, mean woman. All right.
Happened was that, did I incapacitate him?
Look at them eyes. Look at them eyes. Okay. And I know what you're saying, Dolly. That ain't no proof. That ain't no proof. You look at her eyes. That shit ain't no fucking proof. Let me tell you this. In this world, crazy eyes mean a lot. Okay. It means a lot. Can you imagine this woman screaming at you? Can you imagine this? Now, look, I know some of you can't because you're women. All right. But I'm a dude. I know most of my audience is like, this woman's crazy. Okay. I would be scared of her. All right. She looks, it's all been about her, you know, and you can see the anger in her when they're asking her something difficult, why she did this. You see how her demeanor changed. Okay. When he went from something that was, did you say this? Could I did it? She was like, she got angered, but you haven't seen any emotion far as sadness, compassion. right? All we see is from her is anger. That's it.
Unwittingly, somehow, and then in his drunkenness, passed out.
When you
See, she makes it about him being drunk. What about her? Lady, you had 8 vodkas and sodas. You're 100 fucking pounds. Okay, 100 pounds. You had 8 vodkas and sodas. Okay, and you rather spin this conspiracy that the police are bad than use a drunk and backed into somebody. Take responsibility. Now, the crazier she acts and the more I hear, it makes me think she did it on purpose. Okay. I've been trying to give you the benefit of the doubt that this was just a tragic accident and you were drinking and hit the man. The more I listen to you, the more I think you're a fucking killer. You know, this
walked out of the bar, how many drinks had you had?
I had had probably about 4.
Nope. Try again. They were carrying the drinks around with them.
The Commonwealth says that you had 9 drinks that night.
See, I said 8. I gave her the benefit of the doubt, right? I said 8. She had 9, right? 9 drinks that night. She's on video, okay? And that's just what they know of. You don't think she touched a couple before she left the house, right? She might have been sipping. She looks like one of those wine sippers. You never know, but she was drinking vodka too. So them women that be drinking that liquor, boy, oh my God. And you know this, somebody's personality can change in seconds when they're drunk, okay? In seconds. You could be perfectly happy 1 second, and then the next minute rampaging, or you could be sad, crying about your miserable life. You know, you've been around drunk people. You know how them moods, that's one thing alcohol will do. It will switch your fucking mood in all kind of places. You got sad drunks, you got happy drunks, you got mean drunks.
That's what the prosecution says.
I don't believe they're saying I wasn't in my right mind.
Well, they were saying you were intoxicated. Is it possible that you might have hit him unwittingly in your admittedly very large SUV?
No, not possible.
Not possible. It is completely possible. All you got to do is throw it in reverse and back up. Okay. So it makes it possible. So you're a smart woman to say it's impossible. You could have said, no, I didn't do that. But you just said it's impossible to back into this man. Okay. It is absolutely not. Stand behind me, Karen Reed. Let's see if it's possible. Okay. I'm going to tell you now, it's absolutely fucking possible. You don't want to stand behind Dolly because I half-ass look when I back up. Okay. I'm surprised I'm not in your position.
3 days after O'Keefe was found dead, investigators arrested Reed for manslaughter.
Where's the blood, Dolly? I'm asking myself the same thing. Where's the blood trail from when they carried his body out the house? If he's bleeding all from the arms, from dog bites in the back of the head, why is there no blood trail to the house where they carried him out? Why ain't there footsteps like and shit like that with blood? Because that didn't happen. He died right there. He never made it in the house.
She was eventually indicted on second-degree murder. Investigators reported they found fragments of broken glass on the rear bumper on Reed's vehicle, and that a broken cocktail glass was found by what appeared to be patches of blood near O'Keefe's body.
The victim, Mr. O'Keefe, is last observed on surveillance video with a cocktail glass in his right hand. Same arm that's injured, the same type of glass that is then recovered from the bumper of the defendant's car.
Okay, so their argument is that these cuts are from this glass that hit the ground and then he hit the ground and it's cut him. Okay, so that's what they're claiming. I mean, myself, when I look at it, I don't see dog bites, you know, and a lot of people have convinced themselves. And when you have a, like, say, like if I showed you this picture and said, hey, this is dog bites, your mind is going to instantly think it's dog bites. Now, if I showed you that picture and said, this is a bear attack, you would instantly think they were bear claw marks. If you don't know, right? Because you can plant stuff, this image into people's mind. Already you've told them what it is instead of just showing them the image and saying, what does this appear like to you? Then you don't put that preconceived notion in their head that it's a dog bite or it's a bear attack or anything like that. When I look at the picture, to me, it don't appear to be a dog bite because dogs have an upper and lower jaw. how did the dog put straight cuts in you, but there's no other teeth marks around those cuts? That absolutely don't make any sense to me. It's not a dog bite. Autopsy reports say it's not a dog bite. They say that the wounds are actually pretty small wounds. They're not really even big wounds. They're like surface wounds. And that's according to the coroner. Now, we can say that the coroner is bad and he's lying and these bitch had dog bites all up in them, right? But that goes into corruption and all these people are crooked, all the way from the firefighters to the paramedics to the police to the coroner to the DA, right? It's just too much. It's too many moving pieces for this conspiracy to work.
Documents, the prosecution also claims that Reed's blood alcohol level could have been between 0.13 and 0.29%, above the legal limit of 0.08. In addition, they say pieces of Reed's tail light were found on the scene the day O'Keefe's body was discovered. More fragments of that tail light were found the following week, according to Canton police reports, after the snow melted, which revealed more at the scene. But Reed's attorney, Alan Jackson, has a different theory about how those fragments of taillight got there.
Those pieces of taillight were placed there after the fact.
You're saying evidence was planted?
The pieces of taillight were planted after the fact.
Now, they're going to go with this, right? Because this lawyer's saying this. This is what the Turtle Riders are going with. They were planted there after the fact, okay? Them taillight pieces were not planted there after the fact, okay? So that's where they're trying to spin, but this is his job, to spin some bullshit, right? You got to put doubt into people's mind. This is what he's doing. Oh, they put that there. Okay. It's just like saying the OJ shit, the glove don't fit, must have quit. You know what I'm saying? It's their job to say, of course, that they didn't do it. Somebody else has done it. That's what he's getting paid to say. Okay. When it snows, you can't see underneath the fucking snow. Snow takes a while to melt. You got to remember, you're talking up north where it's cold as shit. It ain't like the snow's melting instantly. See, here in Virginia, it'll snow a little bit and that shit melts quick. Okay. Sometimes it don't. We've had blizzards come through here and that shit be on the ground for 3-4 weeks. It'd be fucking month later. You still got a foot of snow. So, you know, the stuff was in the snow. We know it was snowing, right? They try to make it like it was no snow on the ground, but that's absolutely untrue. From all the pictures and everything it shows, if we go back, I mean, we don't have a time machine to go back to the day, but we can look at the pictures. We can look at it and go, okay, well, there's like 2 foot of fucking snow on the ground.
What does the defense believe actually happened to John after Karen dropped him off?
I think he walked into the house. I think he was confronted, was likely brought down to the basement. I think that confrontation got physical and he was beaten. He was beaten to a point of unconsciousness.
Jackson argues that the autopsy photos of O'Keefe support his theory and not the prosecution's claim.
Looks like he's been in a fist fight and he's been beaten. He's got some defensive wound bruises on the backs of his hand.
Okay. This is where I went into this. Defensive wound bruising on the back of his hand. Okay. To me, what is he, a master of the spinning backhand? It ain't, his knuckles ain't bruised. I guess that one knuckle in the front lower is bruised, but the upper knuckle's not. And that's where you would punch somebody. So say if he was fighting with somebody, it would, you know, it would show on his knuckles, not on the top of his hand. Okay. I've been in a lot of fights and I ain't had the top of my hand bruised. That is where when you die or something, that your blood settles there. Okay. Cause your body stops pumping blood. I forget the exact medical term for it, but there is a medical, PJ may be able to help me out with that, but there is a medical term for it. Okay.
He's got this massive laceration on the back of his head.
That's from hitting the concrete. Okay. There's a 2-inch gash on the back of his head. I seen that in the autopsy photos.
Giant gash, about 2.5 inches, exactly lateral, going from left to right. 2 black eyes, cut over his right eye, cut over his nose. This was a cover-up that John was murdered inside that house. His body was placed outside.
But in a statement to ABC News, the prosecution says there was no conspiracy or cover-up. Such claims have been systematically refuted by evidence submitted to Norfolk Superior Court. The prosecution also said that, according to O'Keefe's cell phone GPS records and 11 witness statements, O'Keefe never entered Albert's home.
Okay. Cell phone records, witnesses. He never entered that house. Okay. They keep like to argue that he did, that he went up and down these stairs. But here's the thing. They'll argue, why did they sell the house? Because maybe they didn't want to live there anymore. Okay. Maybe there was a dead dude in their fucking front yard. Maybe they're like, okay, every time they walk outside, they think about the dead dude that was in their yard. And then they decide, okay, well, we probably should sell this house. We don't want to live at some damn haunted damn house where somebody died in the front yard. I mean, there could be a million reasons. The market could be good. And they're like, okay, we want it to move anyway. So let's go ahead and sell the house, get another house. You know, Turtle Boy people look at, oh, they sold the house, so they had to have done it. No, the motherfucker could just wanted to sell his house.
And that a medical examiner found no signs of Mr. O'Keefe being involved in any type of physical altercation or fight.
There was no evidence that Mr. O'Keefe was beaten and left for dead. There was no evidence of any defensive wounds.
ABC News reached out to attorneys.
Ashley says the house was for sale 2 months before. Oh, see, I didn't even know that.
For Brian Albert and Jennifer McCabe, but did not hear back by the time of this broadcast. In a previous statement to the Boston Herald, McCabe's attorney said the whole scenario is baseless. Reed is scheduled to appear next in court again in September.
Well, this is an old video. Her next court date is March 12th. Okay, so, you know, let me click my cam back on now. Bam. Let me blow me back up. So, I mean, did anybody see an evil lady there? If you seen an evil lady in that interview that was just all about herself, she showed no emotion towards the dude she loved. Okay. This is a man she supposedly loved and cared about. She showed no emotion. She talked about him like he was the drunk. The house was purchased for $500K and sold for over $900K. Good Lord. Okay. I mean, yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. The market could be good. There's a lot of reasons people sell their house. Look, if they wanted to cover the murder up, why would they get rid of the house? Because now people can go in it. Okay. They can go in it, these types of things, and maybe find something. Pull the old floor up that y'all keep talking about. They replaced the floor in the basement. Don't you think new people could go in there and tear it up, maybe remodel it, and then they find something? Right? Why would you get rid of the house? It seems like you would want to sit on the house, but they didn't. Okay. Grifting again off of Turtle Boy. Who, me? No, I just figured he could use Karen Reed's name. So I think it's open that other people could use his. Okay. I'm going to start making free Turtle Boy hoodies. Okay. Get one while supplies last. I mean, if it just use people's names to get profit and to get rich. Okay. I'm sure some of you guys want some free Turtle Boy hoodies, right? I got a better deal than Turtle Boy. Better quality. They ain't made in a sweatshop in China. Okay. We make sure all child labor laws are followed, and we will hook you up. All right. We got you. Dolly cool like that. I'm quick. I make custom hoodies. I'll sell you a free Turtle Boy hoodie quick as shit. All right. You want one? Who want one? I got it for sale. I'll have them on my merch store later today for you guys. You get a free Turtle Boy hoodie. You get you a free Karen Reed hoodie. You get you a lock up Karen Reed hoodie. Aliens did it hoodie. You name it, we'll have it for you. All right. Whatever you want. Whatever makes your little heart happy. Okay. There'll be a picture of Baby Gap sitting on the lap, a Turtle Boy. Whatever you like. We got you, man. Dolly always looks out for the people of YouTube. You know, I'm a team player. Look. I'm here, right? Give me a second. I'm going to pull some more stuff up on Karen Reed. And let's hear what some other takes on this case. Because some people may have different opinions. Different news outlets cover things differently. I think that reporter did a really good job because he pressed her. He said, could you have done it? He gave her an out though. He said, could you have accidentally done it? I wouldn't have gave her that. I would have just said, is it possible you could have hit him? Right? Don't imply an accident, right? Because the more cold and heartless she comes off, I sent you a big file folder on it. Okay. Give me 1 second. I'm going to pull that up. The more you watch her, the more cold and heartless she comes off. And I think you know, because at first she was just charged with manslaughter. Then they upped the charge to 2nd-degree murder. I don't know, because she's cold and dark. Okay, I don't know what this is. All right, let's see. Okay, hold on. I'm popping that open. Okay, this is just. I mean, where's the video? Is there video, PJ, or is it just the whole rundown of everything? Okay. I mean, this is just a whole list of events and the dates and the times, and it's called Bong Truth. It's called Bong Truth. Bond. All right, give me 1 second. All right, let's do the Boston 25 from 2 weeks ago.
Power to investigate the investigators. Sources tell me this probe is being run by the U.S. Attorney's Public Corruption Unit in Boston. And we've learned the Norfolk County DA is privately pushing back. April 12th, Karen Reed's lawyers announced a dramatic turn in her murder case. They claim new evidence establishes her innocence in the death of her Boston police officer boyfriend, John O'Keefe. Pointing the finger at witnesses in this case. One of the relatives who was inside the party Googled how long to die in cold.
Okay, but see, that already is being debunked. Okay, they're already explaining how that has happened, and the explanation can be proven. Okay, there's a guy that actually does it. He shows you that you can search for something, open a window, search for something else, and it will still have the same search time as when you open the tab. Okay, facts. I've read the whole blog on it, watched how he explained it, the whole setup. So they're going to say, hey, yeah, she did search it. She didn't search it that night. She searched it the following morning. Here's how this has happened. They're going to show that to the courts, and it's easy to see how this could happen. This ain't like something unexplainable. She didn't search at 2:15. How long does it take to die in the cold? That's absolutely not true. She did search that, but she searched that the following morning after he had been found.
It would be the first time the public would hear allegations of cover-up, but not the U.S. Attorney's Office. 2 days before, on April 10th, a federal grand jury issued subpoenas to people connected to the case, according to a source with direct knowledge of the proceedings. Reed's attorney, Alan Jackson, briefly referenced the probe at a hearing for Reed in May.
But Karen Reed should not have to wait for the feds to figure out which heads should roll.
Multiple sources tell 25 Investigates the U.S. Attorney's Office is examining local and state law enforcement's handling of the Reed case. And 2 FBI agents have been questioning people in and around Canton and reviewing documents from the Norfolk DA's office and the Canton Police Department.
They're not looking into the specific murder itself. I think that's the misconception a lot of people get. They're not investigating the murder, they're investigating the investigation of the murder.
Evan Gottlob is a former federal prosecutor.
So they're just investigating to make sure that they did the investigation correctly. Okay. So just because you are being investigated, let's just say this. Just because you're investigated don't mean you've done anything. That means they're looking to see if you've done anything wrong. If you've done anything wrong, there would be damn indictments for it and things of that nature. They're probing to see if anything has been done wrong. If they had found something that's been wrong, people would be in jail right now.
Who worked public corruption cases in Boston. Sources tell 25 Investigates multiple people identified by police as witnesses in the Reed case have testified before the federal grand jury. Would the U.S. Attorney's Office begin a public corruption investigation on a hunch?
Usually there's a tip from somebody. The federal government could be looking into possible corruption in the police department, possible obstruction of justice in the investigation, those sort of things.
Innuendo is not evidence.
25 Investigates has learned Norfolk DA Michael Morrissey believes he's being targeted. According to two sources, Morrissey sent a letter to DOJ headquarters in Washington requesting that the federal probe be transferred out of Massachusetts. In the letter, Morrissey alleges Rachel Rollins, who was the U.S. attorney when the probe began, held a personal grudge against him. Morrissey argues that is a conflict of interest, according to our sources. Rollins resigned on May 19th following two scathing government watchdog group reports accusing her of abusing her authority and committing multiple ethical violations. We know Morrissey's letter exists.
I mean, you got to think about, like, you know, there is the system corrupt in general. I think, yeah, there is some bad people in it. Is the whole thing itself corrupt? I don't think so. Little pieces of it, yeah. Is there bad cops? Yeah, there's bad cops. Is all this bad and this is just a big cover up to save some cops' nephew? No.
Because the DA's office was
In my
forced to
opinion.
acknowledge it when they denied our public records request for it. Their written response says the letter contains confidential personal information, privileged attorney work product, and is connected to an ongoing criminal investigation.
Is it possible the feds would get involved in a case because of a grudge?
No, I would hope not. That's not the job. The job is to do justice.
Gottlob says public corruption investigations typically take 2 to 4 years for a resolution. If no criminal activity is found, he says the feds aren't obligated to do or say anything.
You want
See, that's what I'm saying. Just because you look into somebody, you know, they keep screaming, Turtleboy gets screaming, these people are going to jail for corruption. But if they had corruption charges on them, they would already be in jail. So they're probing into them and looking into them to see if any of these things are occurring. But just because they're looking into it, don't mean that is what's happening. Okay, they may look into it and see there's nothing going on and just move on about their day. Routine.
won't hear anything about it. I'm pretty sure anybody in the U.S. Attorney's Office that's looking into it knows how important it is to get this right based on the interest on both sides of this matter.
Sources tell us Morrissey's conflict of interest letter to the DOJ also references a former assistant DA who used to work in his office. In the letter, Morrissey says she is married to a high-ranking federal prosecutor in the public corruption unit. 25 Investigates has petitioned the Secretary of State's office to force the Norfolk DA to turn over the letter. We also tried to reach out to Rachel Rollins, but did not hear back. For 25 Investigates, I'm Ted Daniel.
Okay, so they're being investigated. Like I said, there could be something to it. There could be some corruption in there. Okay, let's just say there's some corruption in the DA. Does that mean Karen Reed didn't back this over this man? It still don't take away, just because the court system got some corruption in it and the police, you know what I'm saying, don't mean that she didn't run this man over. Okay, these corrupt DAs and shit, if they are, they wasn't there that night. Okay, they don't have nothing to, you know what I'm saying? It still wouldn't make sense. Let's throw them in the front yard. Still don't make sense to me.
Karen Reed and her boyfriend, Boston police officer John O'Keefe, were bar hopping on a snowy night in Massachusetts. At the end of the night, they were invited to a house party at the home of a fellow officer in Canton, Massachusetts. When Karen and John arrived, Karen did not exit the car. John did. From that point forward, there are two very different versions of what happened. Prosecutors say Karen was mad at John and purposely struck him with her car and left him on the ground to die in the snow.
Okay. I mean, I don't know if she purposely struck him. If she purposely struck him, would she would have went back for him? Okay. That's my thing. She did go back, and then she did try to render aid to him when she was sober. I'm more on leaning towards she was drunk, she hit him. They may have been fighting, I don't know. And she left. And then once as she sobered up a little bit, she realized and she went back. But by then, it's too late. So I don't really think Karen Reed purposely killed John O'Keefe. I hope not. She looks crazy and mean, but I still don't think she purposely did it. I would have a hard time convicting her if you said she's on second-degree murder. Manslaughter, yes, I could convict her on. Second-degree murder, when they up the charge like that, I don't know. Maybe they have something right now that we don't know about that they're going to use in court. Because I just think second-degree murders are harder conviction than manslaughter.
But Karen and her defense team say John went to the party. Something terrible happened inside the house, and his body was placed outside, where he was found dead the next morning. Karen has been charged with murder, but claims she is the victim of a big cover-up by police. The battle inside the courtroom and outside the courthouse has been intense. Prosecutors insisting Karen Reed is a murderer, while she insists it was someone inside the house that night who is responsible for what happened to her boyfriend, John O'Keefe. Tonight, we bring in our own independent experts to examine the evidence in this case piece by piece as we try to figure out what happened to Officer John O'Keefe.
Yeah, he's in the wrong place at the wrong time. Truth Nation Uncensored said I'll put 10K on it. If they can't find blood on her vehicle, she's going to walk 100. I don't think that's necessarily the case, because I think her taillight being at that location is really damaging. Okay. Now y'all can argue it's planted all you want, but it's there. Okay. It ain't like it's not there. It's there. So I think that, they're going to use that against her, of course, that the taillight pieces are there. She was intoxicated, of course. They're going to use that against her. And that these people don't have any motive to kill John O'Keefe. They're going to use that against her. And her inconsistent statements. Did she hit him? These people all work together, firefighters and things, and you can say they're connected. But all of them ain't lying to cover up for somebody that's not even a police officer, a family member of a police officer. So now the firefighters are lying, the coroners are lying, the DA's lying. It's just too much to try to cover up for something that's so stupid.
I'm Vinny Politan. Great to have you with us tonight here on Closing Arguments. And let me tell you,
they pulled it out the truck, but you got to remember, how did they plan it in front of news reporters, other good police officers? How could they have planted the evidence when it was an active crime scene and there's news and people standing outside the house? So they just go out there and sprinkle some taillight. It just, no, she hit the man. She has inconsistent statements. They were fighting according to the kids. It makes more sense than some random people just killed him for no motive whatsoever in the world to kill people. Oh, it's my buddy Vinny. How many of y'all watch me on Court TV? Anybody watch that? Press 1 in the chat room.
things are brewing up in Massachusetts in this case. This is heated, to say the least. I mean, anytime we do this story or anyone does this story, everyone is reacting, sending emails.
Ultimately, there is a reasonable doubt, and she most likely will not do that much time. But Turtleboy is. Well, we click, because Turtleboy videotaped his crimes. He was doing it live on the internet. And not only that, but he was doing it for profit. He's made that clear. You know what I'm saying? So he's in a little bit different boat. I still don't think they're going to put Turtleboy away forever, but he's going to walk away on some probation, pissing in a cup, and maybe do a little bit of, jail time for it.
Texting. Everyone is just so hyper-focused on everything that transpires here. And then something extremely unusual happened. We had an angry DA who posted a statement, carefully crafted statement so he doesn't violate any ethical rules, which he did not. But a statement nonetheless where he is
a lot of you guys saying that. Okay, cool.
Angry at those who are going after innocent victims of, members of the family, and witnesses in the case. A lot of it happening on the internet, some of it happening outside the courthouse, on the courthouse steps. But he posted a video and he was extremely angry about the way these witnesses and the victim's family and friends were being treated by people, a lot of them local, on the internet, talking about this case.
I mean, because he knows that these people didn't do it. Think about if you're innocent and you're being attacked by a mob of people, a mob, all right? Because somebody has spun a web that makes you believe that they did something they haven't, okay? And that is what Turtleboy has done. He got all these people believing this stuff, but if you just look at, you take all the conspiracy out of it and you look at the evidence that is there at the scene, her broken tail light is there, okay? They can scream they planted it all day long, but let's just look at what's there. The tail light's there. She was intoxicated. Her tail light is there. Inconsistent statements. The kids said they were fighting. All right. We got witnesses that are credible because they work for the police and their wives and things, family members. They say he never came in the house. Seems pretty to the point, you know. It don't point to them. None of their blood is on him. Okay, they didn't find nobody. They didn't find none of them police officers' blood under him. He didn't scratch anybody. He didn't have no skin under his nails or anything like that belonged to anybody else. So how did they kill them without any of their DNA transferring over onto him? If they're beating them and hitting them, it don't make a lot of sense.
And it's and say they are 100% innocent. They are presumed innocent, just like every criminal defendant. But that's what makes this case so different, is that it seems that the shoe is like on the other foot to a certain extent. It's rare that we see people protesting the prosecution at the courthouse.
I mean, it's rare because this dude is a special kind of idiot. Okay. He's a special kind of idiot that is doing this for money there, Vinny. Okay. The dude, he said out his own mouth he's doing it for money. He's going to be rich in the end of this. If the police were so corrupt, they would have planted a damn kilo of Colombian Bam Bam under his car and had him arrested somewhere. You know what I'm saying? And shut him up. That tells me right there that the police ain't that corrupt.
Huge crowd of people led by the man you see right there. He was on the show. Goes by the name Turtleboy. Local social media personality with a growing following, talking about this case over and over again, and kind of
that's all he talks about.
Striking a nerve with a lot of people. I had him on the show to explain, why are you protesting? Why are you doing this? He's not connected to anyone in the show, but he said in the trial, but he said he thinks there's an injustice here.
That's just such a lie. He's making money. He's selling damn free Karen Reed shirts, dude. He's selling free Karen Reed shirts and not giving her even a fucking cut. Think about that. All right. He don't care. This is a grift. This is the biggest fucking grift on the internet.
But the people that he's protesting are getting a little angry and fed up, and it goes back and forth, back and forth.
You see, that's the wrong word there, Vinny. He's not protesting. He's harassing. Okay. He is calling their houses. He's following them around. He's doing weirdo shit. Okay. He's doing total weirdo stuff.
Forth. Because they all believe that Karen Reed is a murderer. He doesn't. Neither does Karen Reed. As a matter of fact, Karen Reed believes
she didn't fucking go to that house that night, Vinny. Okay.
He says she's a victim in all of this.
That's the problem. She's playing victim. It's woe me. It's all about her. She's motionless. If the police killed the person I loved, I'd be crying. You know, she's stone faced. She has no emotion for him, called him a drunk. I don't see how people can't see it. I just don't see how people cannot see this.
A victim of this police cover-up. Now, the DA was angry about that too, talking about what, a conspiracy between all these different departments and all these different people? What? To frame her? But that's what she believes.
Because she's a fucking nut job, okay? She also believes it's all about her. Woe me. She also believes that shit. She also ain't going to argue with you. You know what I'm saying? She's made that very clear. You know, this is one of those Amber Heard bitches. She'd probably shit in your bed. Okay, Vinny? She'd probably take a turd right in your bed. This is the chick Johnny Depp would run from.
That she did nothing wrong, and it was someone in that house. Remember, it was an after-hours police party that night. So the defense has been on the offensive. It's not just that they're saying, no, they can't prove this case. They're saying, no, we know something happened inside that house.
They can say whatever they want to say. That don't make it truth. You got to have a reason. What reason would there be for something to happen inside this house? You can't just walk in and go, something happened inside this house. Well, what happened? I don't know. Why did it happen? I don't know. I don't know why it happened. What happened? I don't know. Why did it happen? I don't know. That ain't a good defense. Okay? That is not a good defense.
And we need to get that evidence. I mean, and you'll see in the trial, and we'll show this jury. The defense is even saying there shouldn't even be a trial. They think the prosecution.
Of course, my defense said that for me. Well, it shouldn't go to court. What Dolly do? All right, you pay motherfuckers thousands of dollars. They gonna say the man, they lying. This is a cover up. Dolly didn't do it. You better say it. I paid you to say it.
You should just drop the charges. That's not happening. I mean, I heard the DA. He's seen all the evidence. He believes his evidence is strong enough to win this case, and he's convinced.
I'm convinced with him. Okay, from the evidence I've seen so far, I'm convinced not of second-degree murder. Okay, that's where we differ. I'm gonna be honest. There's not enough evidence unless they pull out some smoking gun out of somewhere that will make me say this lady purposely murdered this man. Okay. What would Dolly do? Okay. Dolly would have, the hell if I know. I hope not to be in this situation. You know, I would call it Uber is what Dolly would do. I wouldn't have been out drinking and driving. And, this lady has about the same emotions Leilani Simon had.
But the question is, what does this evidence actually show? Now, some of it has been released through statements in court hearings and everything else. And we're going to go through that evidence piece by piece tonight.
Yeah, we are. Piece by piece. Okay. Piece by piece. We're going to make sure everybody understands what's going on. Because they say, we don't do no research. We ain't look into it. So we'll look into it. Okay. I mean, so far, my mind hadn't changed. You know, it could be a tragic accident. I don't think she purposely murdered him. If they were going for manslaughter, I would say, yeah, all right, guilty. I could get you that. Second degree murder, not so much. I bet they voicemails Karen left for John is probably why they upgraded the charges. I mean, we'll learn soon. We'll know more soon. You know, 3 months a flyby like that. So this trial will be here super, super quick. So, and when it gets here, we'll know more about what they got on her. We'll see that, you know, me, myself, like my opinion is she is guilty of manslaughter at least. Other than that, I think it ain't that bad. You know, manslaughter, she'll get 10 years. They'll suspend some of it, blah, 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 or take a plea deal. But it sounds like they ain't trying for no plea deals. But in the end of it, if she walks, would I be super surprised? No. But I can tell you this, they're never going to arrest them police in that house that had nothing to do with it. I can tell you that because they didn't have nothing to do with it. Do they have enough evidence to convict Karen Reed? I can't be positive of that. But I know that they'll never arrest anybody else because there's nobody else that killed that man.
Going to bring in our own experts to try to get a better understanding. Because through all the chatter and the noise between the protesters and the defense attorneys and the prosecutor and everyone talking, we're going to just try to shut that out for a night and focus in on some of the evidence, get an independent look at it to see what it means, what questions still need to be answered, and try to get a little closer to what the truth may be in this case. But it may be very difficult because the more you look at it, the more you're like, well, I don't know what exactly is happening here. So let's go through some of the facts of what happened that night and who was involved. So let's bring in our friend in Los Angeles, California, senior reporter for DailyMail.com, the host of Daily Mail Crime on TikTok, and a victim advocate for Project Cold Case, Caitlin Becker, back with us. Caitlin, great to see you tonight. Let's start first with John O'Keefe, Officer John O'Keefe, the victim in all of this, and Karen Reed. I'm trying to get a better understanding of the nature of their relationship.
They never even checked the home. Okay, Truth Nation. That is true. They didn't check the home. But here's the thing. There wasn't no blood trail. Where's the blood? If that dude was beating the head inside the house, okay, and he's cut all up like that, why is there no blood trail to his body? Okay. Why are phones saying that he never went in the house? You know, I can understand, okay, all the people in the house, the 8 people that were in the house, they're all lying, they're all in on this cover up. But the data evidence is showing he never went in the house. The search results, you know, I've seen the argument already for the search results of the search. And it appears that, like this person is saying, that if you open a window and that same window you search, that tab locks the time in at the time that that window was opened. So if she was messing around on her phone and she opened this tab, and then that morning, that same tab, because you don't close, because my phone, I have 50 tabs open sometimes. Okay. No lie. Like a lot of people, I didn't even know how to close the tabs in it. So it's keeping that time that you open that tab. So the whole, she searched how long does it die in the cold, you know, according to them, she didn't search it that night. She searched it right as this was occurring, as he was in the ambulance, and she's screaming, is he dead type stuff. So she makes this search.
And who they were and what was going on in their lives. What's your understanding about who?
Truth Nation, we got to remember that the steps on a phone are not 100% accurate. Okay. It's not. Get your phone, count your steps, right? And then look at it and see if it's right. It's not always right. That is facts. Okay.
Who these two are, what was going on generally in their lives.
Well, Vinny, they have a really long history. They had actually dated in their 20s and lost touch and then reconnected more than a decade or so later through social media and then started dating again. So they have quite a few years, you know, under their belt, just being in each other's lives and being together. And their relationship had transpired in a way where things were good for a little while, and then they seemed not so great. And in the weeks leading up,
because everybody, look, when you first in a relationship, everything's great. Slowly, on both sides, the not so great things start to come out. Okay, so at first you're just like, oh, everything's the greatest. He's the greatest. Or she's the greatest, either way. You know what I'm saying? And then over time, you start to see the real people. Okay, because, you know, people in the beginning, they always want to impress you a little bit. You know, that's just human nature. So they don't show their bad qualities at first. They kind of save those, put those on the back burner, and then one day they sneaky with it. Okay, so she probably turned on that crazy switch one day, and he was like, oh shit.
up to.
So they would have to let 50% off of prisoners. Now, I don't think 50% of prisoners are in prison because of phone data. You know what I'm saying? Is there some people in prison that may be in prison because of some faulty data on phones? Yes. It may be. There's innocent people in prison. That's for sure. Okay. So what I'm saying is that phone is not, the steps on that phone are not accurate. I mean, you can test that. That's easily testable to show you that it's not accurate. Okay. because it'll tell you went upstairs and shit. You ain't never go up, not touch a stair. So, but it is what it is. The tab, you know, they're going to be able to show this in court. Prosecutors are going to be able to show that, hey, these search results can be done this way. Okay. There's no reason. There's no motive. Okay. She has inconsistent statements. She said to firefighters, could I hit him? Did I hit him? Whatever she said, it don't matter. If you ask the question, you're kind of, you put yourself there. Okay. You're the last person to see this man alive. You got a broken taillight. You were drinking and driving, and he's laying on the ground with wounds that are consistent with being hit by a vehicle. Okay. Some people argue that wounds consistent with a fight. Okay. Well, most fights, let me tell you this. I could punch you in the head hard as I can. I guarantee you I can't crack your skull. Okay. I can't. You're going to need some type of object, concrete, or something of that nature to crack your skull. You would have to punch so fucking hard to be able to, you would have to be Francis Ngannou. Okay. Apparently he has the hardest punch they measured, and still he can't crack your skull, because I've watched him punch people in the skull. You know, you would have to fall on some concrete, get hit in the head with a bat, a pole, some type of hard stick, something to crack your skull, slam open, right? Because he had brain bleed, and that explains the swelling of the eyes. Okay. He was laying there dying. His brain was swelling, and it's putting that pressure on his eyes, and it's blacked his eyes. The coroner said there's no signs of that he was in a fight. Okay. So now we got to say the police in the house are bad. Okay. The police investigating it, and the police that there are bad. The firefighters are bad. Okay. The firefighters are corrupt now. We got a corrupt firefighters. Like, I've heard a lot of corruption, but I ain't never heard of corrupt firefighters. Okay. The fucking firefighters are corrupt. Now we got the coroner is corrupt. Okay. So everybody from the fucking police to the coroner to the firefighter, everybody's corrupt. Everybody's lying but this lady.
O'Keefe's death, it seemed that their relationship had gotten a little bit rocky. There was a fight around New Year's Eve. There were some issues with the family and how O'Keefe took care of his sister's children or his relatives' children at first.
Okay. You say all those injuries from one broken tail light. Yeah, but we just know that the concrete is what causes injuries. Okay. The car is this what made him hit the fucking concrete. That's it. I mean, he died from hitting that concrete. The car didn't kill him. The car was just the catapult to him to the fucking ground, and it caused him to hit his head on the concrete. Okay. The blow to the back of the head is what killed him. That's what done it. That's what incapacitated him. Okay. And that is from when he went back and he hit his head on the concrete. It cracked his skull. So he's laying there incapacitated, slowly dying. He can't get up, you know. Most likely when he fell, he lost consciousness. So I don't think John O'Keefe suffered in any of this. One, he was intoxicated. Okay. So he was buzzed up. He got hit. He went down, hit his head. It was like that. And believe it or not, in this world, at least the man didn't suffer, because, you know, when he hit his head, that's going to knock you out. That's clearly going to knock you out. So he was unconscious from that point until the point he lost his life. I doubt John O'Keefe ever regained consciousness with a fractured skull. So at least the man didn't have to suffer, you know. And the shit that these people like Turtleboy and Karen Reed are putting his family through, and his niece and nephew through, and the people that were just there, you know, at the wrong place at the wrong time, is absolutely insane. Okay. The police hasn't blamed these people for anything. The only people accusing these people or anything are Karen Reed, Turtleboy, and now of course baby gap because he's trying to get added into the lawsuit. So if any of these people that are watching that were in that house, make sure y'all get baby gap, the aka the glare, which is spreading the same misinformation, attacking the families the exact same way, and is trying to pick up where Turtle Boy left off. So y'all might as well get him next, okay? Just to let you know.
She loved that, and then it became kind of Karen Reed's responsibility. So things do seem a little rocky by the time we get to the end of January.
Okay, so let's go to the end of January and let's talk about that night. We've got a little bit of a timeline I want to walk through with you to try to get a better understanding of what
any defense attorney would eat this up. Well, look, like I said, I believe it would have been an easier conviction, Truth Nation, if it would have been manslaughter. I agree with you. It's hard to convict on second-degree murder. You know, it just ain't second-degree murder. Unless they got something else. Like I said, I don't really think a whole lot is going to happen to Karen Reed. I'm not like sitting here going, Karen Reed's going to go to prison forever. Okay, because I know that's not going to be the case. It's going to end up like some manslaughter shit. She's going to go to prison for a few years, blah, blah, blah. People with money never go away. If you were broke, your ass this shit wouldn't make news. You'd be gone. Okay. You'd be done. Okay. Let this shit been Dolly. No, it'd been done. Oh, I'd be fucking gone. Wouldn't be no news. You know what I'm saying?
what generally was happening and what they were doing. We start at 7:37 p.m. John O'Keefe arrives at C.F. McCarty's in Canton. And then at 8:51, a little more than an hour later, Karen Reed arrives at C.F. McCarty's. And my guess is C.F. McCarty's, like a lot of the bars up there, it's where people go to, you know, drink. Looking at it, looks like a nice, like a pub, right?
Mm-hmm. Irish pub. Nice
Irish pub, and it's a night of. It seems like these two are meeting. They didn't go there together. Do we know? I mean, generally just out for drinking, right? Were they out to eat? Were they drinking? Were they celebrating anything, or any of that information?
It appears they were doing a lot of drinking. Some surveillance footage from inside the bar shows in the course of about an hour and a half, Karen Reed having something like 6 or 7 drinks. And
listen to that, in an hour and a half, she drank that many drinks. So this woman was tore up from the floor up. Okay. And that's just saying we were saying she may have had some drinks before she even went there. We don't know. We just know what video surveillance shows in the pub, right? Because I always thought it was 8 drinks, but I guess the prosecution's saying it's 9 drinks. Even at 8 or 9 drinks at her size, you know, she's clearly way over the legal limit to drive. Or even to be like, okay, I got a little buzz, let me drive. No, woman, you are drunk at that level. But then again, if she's an alcoholic, she may not appear to be drunk. But in her blood content, alcohol level is definitely way over the legal limit. That's for sure.
And this was the first bar they went to. And then they left and they met up with friends at a second bar where they presumably had more drinks. There was a lot of drinking happening this night, and the intention was clearly to do some more, because at the end of that second bar, the group was going to go back to have a little after hours party back at one of their homes. So there seemed to be quite a bit of drinking. The first thing that sticks out to me is there is no way, if these drinks were alcohol.
Truth wants you to show the defense portion after this. Okay, well, I don't know how long I'm going to be here, but if I'm here for a while, I'll show whatever the hell y'all want to show. Okay, look, if you're Turtle Boy riders or whatever the hell, I think that's what he calls them, Turtle riders, and you want to see something that is against what I'm saying, I'll play that too. Okay, and look, I've told you I keep an open mind. I'll give you the opportunity to try to change my mind, you know, and I'm only stating my opinion. That don't make anything I say fact. Okay, always do your own research. Anything. I'm not trying to force my opinion on you. Okay, I'm just sharing with you guys what I think. You're capable of thinking anything you want. If you think she's innocent, you know you're entitled to that. I don't rule your minds. I'm not trying to control your head. I'm not trying to plant something. You do your own research on it. Come to your own conclusion on it. You know, my channel, I share my opinions. That's basically it. You know, but opinions are like everything. You know, everybody got their asshole. Some of them think, you know, but who knows? I think the evidence, when this is over, a lot of these supporters are going to be like, oh, yeah, you know, they're just going to be, and you won't be able to convince them that they'll be like, well, they railroaded her.
Alcoholic, which we assume they were, that Karen Reed should have been behind the wheel of a vehicle. We see her at the bar, several drinks in the night. There's absolutely no reason she should have been driving a car.
Yeah, and you know, when we first looked at this case and the story, you would think that that's what it would be all about, right? A drunk driving or an alleged drunk driving accident, but that's not the way it's turned out here. All right, so as you mentioned, at 10:40 p.m., Karen Reed and O'Keefe leave together. They leave CF McCarty's, and about 15 minutes later, they arrive at the Waterfall Bar and Grill, also in Canton. This is interesting because they're hanging out in Canton. He's a Boston police officer, but where all this is happening, it's not Boston, and it's not a case that was investigated by officers that work with John O'Keefe.
No, this are suburbs outside of it. But I do know that up in this community, the law enforcement group is not a huge, widespread thing. I mean, they have a lot of officers up there, but you know how small this, you know, law enforcement can be, and everybody kind of does know everybody. I can't wrap my head around the fact that a bunch of police officers were around and allowed someone who may or may not have been absolutely hammered get behind the wheel of a car. That still sticks out to me as being an issue. It also calls into question for me whether or not Karen Reed is a reliable narrator of her own story that night.
I like what she's saying, right? If you was that drunk, how do you even remember correctly what transpired? Okay. Because you can give me 8 or 9 drinks and Dolly won't be able to tell you shit, but I woke up in jail because I've been there. I've drank like that and I've woke up in jail. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't tell you one thing. The police had to tell me what happened. Okay. They were like, yo, I was like, why the hell am I in jail? And they were like, I'll share this with you real quick. So I go to Mayhem Fest. Okay. Big festival, metal festival is at an amphitheater, you know, 15, 20,000 people. I'm drinking Jaeger with my friends. Okay. Somehow I pull a fucking John O'Keefe. Okay. I pull a John O'Keefe. I'm tore up from the floor up and I meet some woman and I get in her vehicle. Okay. I get in the woman's vehicle drunk. And I guess it's somebody I met that was going to give me a ride home. Being intoxicated, I guess I wasn't a good judge of people. Okay. Because this girl was also drinking. So me being intoxicated, I done got in a car with a girl that is drinking and driving, just like John O'Keefe. Okay. So anyway, thank God this woman gets pulled over. I'm passed out in a vehicle of a car that I don't know the chick in. Okay. And she has been drinking. She gets pulled over. She goes to jail. Okay. I'm drunk, passed out in the car. I'm not driving. I haven't broke any laws, not nothing. So the police says he wakes me up and I look up at him and said, call me a cab, and roll right back over and passed out. But he said, the first thing I said to him was, call me a cab. So I guess I had enough coherence to know I need to get home, right? And I need a cab. But I tell the police I need a cab. He said I was too drunk to leave out there. And they carried me and put me in the back of their cop car. And they arrested me for drunk in public. But I was never in public. I was in a vehicle, right? So when I wake up in jail, I'm in a cell. I'm by myself. And there's just a little glass window with a curtain. Just say no to Jaeger. Yes, definitely just say no to Jaeger. So I beat on the window, right? And I swear to you guys, I have no clue to why I'm in jail. I don't remember getting in the vehicle with the girl. I don't remember her getting pulled over. I don't remember any of this. It's just a blur. I remember going to the concert. I remember when I started drinking. I remember being at the bar. So a sheriff's deputy comes up to the jail cell, and I look at him and I go, "Hey man, why am I in jail?" And he looks right back at me. He goes, "You don't know why you in jail?" And I'm like, "Nah." He goes, "Bro, you're in big fucking trouble. I mean, big trouble." And he just shuts the curtain on me. Right? I'm like, what the hell? So I go sit on the bench, right? And I'm freaking out. I'm thinking, please, God didn't let me do nothing bad. You know what I'm saying? Because I can't really remember what happened because I've been drinking like Karen Reed. So about 30 minutes later, the curtain opens. He's like, "Yo, man, hey, I'm just messing with you. You in here for drunk in public. We about to let you out. Okay? Just be patient. We'll process you in about 15, 20 minutes. And I sat back down and I was like, thank God, right? So now I got this bad headache and all I can hear is somebody kicking one of the doors to the jail cell. Just screaming, kicking. You can just hear the door banging. Boom, boom, boom. And I mean, it's echoing through the jail like crazy loud. And my head is banging every time I hear the fucking bang. Like boom, like throbbing. So they let me out and they're processing me. And they were like, you know, they start telling me, they asked me how much I had to drink because when they said I got there that I was tore up. I mean, like they were worried I was like, had alcohol poison drunk, right? They said, how many beers did you drink? Because apparently at some point I was conscious and I told them I had been drinking beer, but I hadn't drank any beer. I was drinking Jägermeister. So I look at these deputies and I'm like, nah, man, I didn't drink any beer. I drank a bunch of Jägermeister. And they were like, well, you was asleep in the back of a vehicle and that got pulled over. And, you know, you're going to have just a small fine, but your friend's in really big trouble because apparently when they arrested this lady for DUI, she attacked the police. Okay. I guess I was asleep for this. So they done had to tase this woman. Okay. Right. And he goes, your friend's in big ass trouble. And I said, I don't know what you're talking about, man. I don't. So he told me the woman's name. I said, look, I don't know that person. He said, you got in a car with somebody you don't even know. I said, dude, I was drunk. You know, I was drunk at a concert. I was probably trying to get home, you know? And he was like, he goes, well, she ain't leaving anytime soon because she's charged with DUI, assaulting 3 police officers. And I was like, so he hands me my stuff back. My sunglasses are broken half. My wallet's gone. My phone is broke. And the moral of the story is, yeah, don't get in the car with, you know, and if my dumb mistake, if that girl would have gotten a wreck, she could have got me killed. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes when you're drinking, you make really bad decisions. Okay. You do, like I did. I made bad decisions. I got in the car with a woman that was drunk that I didn't know. Now they said she blew this barely over the limit, but still she was legally fucking drunk. And I made a poor decision because I was intoxicated to get in the car with a chick I did. She could have been a serial killer. She could have been a robber. I was so intoxicated. I didn't just luckily I woke up in jail safe. Okay. Believe it or not, I was like, okay, this might have been the best outcome because at least I'm fucking safe. Everything's okay. I'm alive. I'm not hurt. So thank God that the police pulled her ass over.
Assuming she was intoxicated.
Yeah. Like, how intoxicated was she? What does she remember? What does she not remember? But again, the charges here are that she did it intentionally, that this was no accident. 12:14 a.m. John O'Keefe texts Jennifer McCabe, where to? Jennifer replies with the address of her brother's house on Fairview Road, which is where this so-called after party is going to take place. 12:31 a.m. Jennifer McCabe texts John O'Keefe, hello, when he sees what she believes is Karen Reed's black SUV at the residence. This is interesting. So Jennifer McCabe,
I left a part of the story out. Remember when I told you I heard somebody kicking the door in the jail? That was the chick in the cell down the hall because they had me on one part of the unit and her on the other part of the unit, and she was kicking the door. So all that noise that was making my head bang was the crazy woman that had spit. Oh, and she spit on the deputies. She attacked the police. She spit on the deputies, and she was in there kicking the door. Okay. So apparently she was going to fuck off.
Who's inside the house, I guess, perhaps or apparently sees Karen Reed and John O'Keefe, at least the car, arrive in front of this home.
That's exactly right. And another text that comes through around this time from Jennifer McCabe is basically giving them directions as to where in the driveway to park. I think it's something along the lines of, pull behind my car or pull behind this vehicle. So presumably the people in the house see that they're there in the driveway looking to park, and the people in the car presumably know that this is the house that they're going to because they were directed where to park. This moment in the timeline is where everything goes off the rails for me, Vinny, because the people in the house say that he never came inside to this party. They never saw him. And then you have Karen Reed saying he got out of the car, went in the house, never came back, and never answered her phone calls.
But who do you believe? Karen Reed was clearly intoxicated, right? Alone she had 8, 9 drinks.
I can't believe that no one went outside ever to see where he was. If you see me pull up, Vin, outside of your house and you're expecting me to come inside and all of a sudden I disappear and my car disappears, wouldn't you be concerned? And
okay, so if I looked out the window, let me answer this lady's question. Say I looked out the window and I seen Truth Nation out there. Okay, I just use you because you're the first name I see. I look out there, I see Truth Nation out there. It's a minute of fucking winter time. It's snowing cold as shit. I look out there, see them out there. I see the vehicle. I'm like, oh, damn, they're here. All right. I look back out there and the car is gone. I would look back and be like, man, where did they go? They left. Would I go outside? Possibly not, unless I couldn't see, everything. But if I could see the road, I wouldn't go outside. I'd be like, oh, well, they didn't pull it off. Or if I couldn't see the driveway, I might step outside the door. So, but there may be the chance that I wouldn't go out and look.
On the same token, if you and I are driving to a party and you get out of the car to go inside and you don't answer my phone calls or come back to the car, I'm going to get concerned. It didn't seem like anyone was concerned until tomorrow.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Why didn't? Same thing I was saying. So if PJ dropped me off somewhere and said, PJ, I'm going to run up in here for a minute, right? And I didn't come back inside, I know PJ would get out and go knock on the door and see if I was okay. Or what was going on, if I was staying there or if I was coming home so she could leave. I doubt that it would be a situation where she would just go, okay, he ain't come out, let me leave him, right? And then wake up and be like, why ain't he here? Well, one, you left him. How was he supposed to get back unless somebody gave him a ride back? And them people inside that house were drinking, so they shouldn't have been driving.
Oh, till the next day. So let's get to 12:40 a.m. Jennifer McCabe texts John O'Keefe, pull up behind me, and says she then saw the black SUV move from its initial place to the left side of the property. This is very specific. 12:45 a.m. Jennifer McCabe texts John O'Keefe, hello, and then observed the black SUV drive away. So if she's
okay, if he was in the house, why would she be texting him hello? Okay, apparently he's not in the house at 12:45 because he's like, hello, where you at? Okay, so he got out the car, walked up in the house, don't add up, because if he walked in the house, why would Jennifer McCabe be texting him, hey, where you at?
Seeing it drive away, does she see it run John O'Keefe over? She's seeing a lot, but she's not seeing that.
She's seeing a lot. She doesn't see John O'Keefe get run over, but where she...
Well, I mean, if you glance out the window and see a car out there, do you stand in the window and stare at it like Michael Myers? Okay, that'd be a little crazy, standing in the window. You probably looked out the window. Regina, thank you for gifting a membership. You probably looked out the window, seen the car, right? It was doing like thinking, okay, he's going to walk in. A few minutes later, he's not walking in. You're like, oh, let me look out there. You look outside. You see the car pulling off. Okay. It's not like Jennifer McCabe was probably standing in the window the whole time, just watching him like a serial killer stalker there, Vinny, like she might've just glanced out there a couple of times. It's like, that's how I do it. I don't just stare out the window like a crackhead peeping through the blinds.
claims she sees the SUV sort of back up and move is between a fire hydrant and a flagpole, which is what she says. And that will become very important when they find his body the next day near this fire hydrant and flagpole. So she might have actually witnessed him getting run over if he was in fact run over in that moment, and just not have been able to see the moment of impact because of how she was looking out the window and how.
I watch a lot of horror movies. Okay. I watch a lot of horror. That's why everything's a horror movie reference. That's why I think everybody's a killer. I don't trust nobody. Okay. But look, usually if it was some police corruption, I'd be on your side. Okay. If I thought the police had anything to do with this, I grew up on Easy-E, fuck the police. If I thought the police had anything to do with this, I would be 100% for you Turtle Riders. I just don't.
How the car was placed. And as you said, my first guess was perhaps this was an accident, because perhaps allegedly she was drunk behind the wheel. Maybe she just backed up, didn't notice she hit him, and then drove off and had no idea until the next day. But as you said, the accusations are that there was a fight and that this was done intentionally, and that.
Yeah, but that's made up by them. There's no proof of that. There's no proof that there was ever a fight. No neighbors called in a noise complaint. Nobody, no, why not? If dogs attack and biting, they're fighting. Not one neighbor heard a thing. Not one neighbor seen a thing. You didn't hear them fight and look out the window and, oh, wait, there's a bunch of police carrying a dead body into the fucking front yard. The neighbors didn't have nothing to say. They ain't the only house on that street. But they're fighting and screaming and carrying bodies out the front door, but nobody hears it. The only people claiming there's a fight is Karen Reed, what was in drunk. How does she even remember what happened? Who the fuck knows? She's going on for what other people have told her. Just like I did when the police told me, hey man, you was in a car, we were intoxicated, and the person that was driving the vehicle was intoxicated. They had to fill in the pieces for me. Just like that's why her story's inconsistent, because she don't know what happened.
Karen Reed left him for dead in the cold, knowing that she had run him over.
And we go back to the timeline now. It gets even more interesting. At 4:53 a.m., Karen Reed calls Jennifer McCabe looking for John O'Keefe. Jennifer and Karen and another woman drive to John's house, right? The house where the party was. And then back, to John's house, to John O'Keefe's house, and then back to the Fairview house, where then they find John O'Keefe in the snow. So when they had first gotten there, it was lightly snowing, but then I guess it snowed all night, and he's in the snow at that point. 6:04, 911 call reporting John O'Keefe was found in the snow. So as I'm looking at this, it seems like Jennifer McCabe is crucial to establishing for a jury what she saw and what happened that night versus whatever the defense is going to say happened that night.
Absolutely. She's not only crucial for the prosecution about what the state says she witnessed that night, but
yeah, because she's the key witness, because she can place them there. She can place her leaving. She can say that John O'Keefe never came into the house. Yeah, that is a key witness right there. That's why Turtleboy shouldn't have been harassing this lady. All right, that's when you're messing with a witness. She is definitely one of the key witnesses in this that states that this lady was there, that, that she did know where the body was at instantly, and all these things. You can't harass, you can't intimidate her to where she don't want to testify. That's against the law, and Turtleboy is going to be convicted of that.
She is potentially crucial for the defense, because the defense claims that at something like 2:27 a.m., Jennifer Googles something along the lines of how long to die in the snow. And then they allege that she went and covered her tracks and then erased this search. At 2:30 in the morning, no one has any idea that John O'Keefe is laying for dead outside in the snow. So why would she have any reason to Google such a thing? And then why erase it at a later date if that?
Okay, so now here's the thing. Now, an expert just came out. I think this just came out just the other day, when the last couple of days. This video is a few weeks old that we're watching right here. Okay. That states that when these tabs are open, they show you how it works. They show you how it operates. They show you how the time can say this, but really the search be at a different time. according to this lady, she searched that at a different time after John O'Keefe was in the ambulance. How long does it take to die in the snow? Because they were trying to figure out if John O'Keefe was going to be okay. That is the reason why this woman had no motive to hurt John O'Keefe. She had no motive to cover up anybody hurting John O'Keefe. She invited John O'Keefe, you know, and told him to park. And in her own comments that night, in her own text messages, she's like, where are you at? That shows you there he never came in the house. And old Turtle Boy will find himself, in his arraignment in just, 55 minutes, right? 55 minutes. That he puts on this role like this ain't a big deal. It is a big deal. He's facing 40 years in prison if convicted on everything. Okay, you can go from not being a criminal straight to prison. That's bad. Do I think that's going to happen? No. Okay, because everything goes by guidelines when you're convicted anyway. You're seeing he's not been in trouble. But he can find himself on a pretty good, you know, lengthy probation, showing up, people showing up at his house, making him piss in cups. It's just the hassle of it. You know, do I think they're going to put him in prison for the next 20 years? No. Do I think they're going to put Karen Reed in prison for the next 20 years? No. Do I think that either one of them are going to end up rich off of this? Maybe Karen Reed might be able to sell a book deal at the end of this because she's not going to go to prison for that long. Turtle Boy, nobody will give a damn about. Okay. Damn, JLR got more subs. He's a whirlwind journalist. Also, he won the Cone Award.
And here lies the conspiracy theory. Here lies, I think, the crux of what the defense is saying went wrong in this situation.
Let's not forget losing his constitutional rights. It's not because he is harassing a witness in a case. Okay, he's not just out messing with anybody. Okay, if he was out asking questions to somebody that wasn't a witness in a case, you can't do what he's doing. That's why the charges are what they are. That's why there's laws against it. And he's going to find that out the hard way. And this ain't even, see guys, look, you think this is the worst for Turtle Boy right now because the jail stuff. I agree with y'all. They're not going to really do shit. Okay, they're not. I agree with y'all 100% on that. But in a civil trial, they taking everything he got, hands down. And y'all know that. You know I'm not lying to you on it. You know that's coming. If you don't know that's coming, think about it. First, it's the criminal proceeding, and then it's the civil case. So you can believe the owner of the pizza shop's going to sue him. Jennifer McCabe's going to, all of them going to sue him because he's been profiting off of it and clearly been profiting off of things that he know for a fact is bullshit. Because some of his own stuff came out saying he knows some of this stuff he's saying is bullshit.
And they say that John O'Keefe went into this party, that there was a fight, there was an altercation. He got into a fight with Jennifer McCabe, allegedly with the owner of the house, her brother-in-law, that his dog got involved somehow, and that they all worked to cover it up.
Wow.
It's wild. I don't know what to think.
It's absolutely wild because both sides are so convinced of what they are arguing. I could see it in their eyes. I could tell sometimes when defense attorneys are, grain of salting it, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. That's not the case here. These guys believe it, as does the angry prosecutor as well. Caitlin Becker, dailymail.com. Great to have you on tonight. Thank you so much. We'll see you again.
Why does the prosecutor got to be angry? Don't you think if somebody kills somebody, there should be some anger for that? Do you think John O'Keefe's life is not important? Right? His life's real important. There should be anger over this man dying. All right. There should be some fucking answers. There should be some justice. But to be like he's angry, I don't know. It's like, I don't know. Does this lady got some hypnotizing power that I'm not aware of?
And soon. Okay. So what we're going to do when we come back, we're going to bring in our experts. We've got some great ones and go through the evidence piece by piece. What does it mean? What makes sense here? Plus, coming up next hour.
In Walterboro, South Carolina, Rita Pangalangan was honored as Teacher of the Year in 2014. Someone who dedicated her professional life to helping children.
Court TV.
fact where he was found dead and what the circumstances were surrounding that death are why we're here now.
We're doing good, Betty. Just going over some of this stuff in the Karen Reed stuff, you know, just catching up on some of the stuff, refreshing some of the stuff from the prosecution. We're watching some court TV stuff. We watched a little bit about how they're investigating into the DA. Just different stuff, just going over different stuff on the Karen Reed stuff, giving my opinion on it.
Second undisputed fact, when John O'Keefe was found, he had this set of wounds on his right arm.
What are those?
Okay. And we also know he had that glass that was broke, that he was found laid up in the broken glass. And they're saying that them cuts are consistent with the glass that he had in his hand. Now, like I said, I believe that, you know, that's not a dog bite. It would have an upper bite and a lower bite, things of that nature. And it don't. If he got bit by a dog, he got bit by a dog that only has a top jaw.
What do those wounds mean? What do those wounds mean? Prosecutor saying that's evidence of him getting run over. The defense is saying, no, that's like from a dog that was inside the house where they say John O'Keefe was murdered. This is an unreal story. So we're going to go through the evidence piece by piece, going to bring in the experts in just a second. But first, let's take a listen from the prosecution's case report, the findings made during the autopsy in this case. Let's listen.
On January 31st, Dr. Irini Scortibello from the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner conducted the autopsy of Mr. O'Keefe. The doctor advised the troopers that she observed several abrasions to the victim's right forearm, 2 swollen black eyes, a small cut above the right eye, a cut to the left side of the nose, an approximately 2-inch laceration to the back right of his head, and multiple skull fractures that resulted in bleeding of the brain. Dr. Scortibello further advised the troopers that the victim's pancreas was a dark red color indicating hypothermia, was a contributing factor to his death. Dr. Scortibello opined from her examination that the significant blunt force trauma injuries occurred prior to Mr. O'Keefe becoming hypothermic. As evidence.
So basically, he was incapacitated. So he didn't die. The wounds caused him to have hypothermia because he couldn't get up.
Evidenced by hemorrhaging in his pancreas and stomach. Mr. O'Keefe had arrived at the Good Samaritan Medical Center with a body temperature reading in the low 80s. The doctor opined that the extensive injuries to his head likely rendered Mr. O'Keefe incapacitated.
What does all that mean? Let's bring in our experts. We've got a great panel tonight. In Cope South.
Means that man passed away tragically, is what it means. You know, with blunt force trauma to the back of his head. We do know he was laid on the concrete, okay? And you can hit your head. That's all it takes. One good knock to the skull.
South Carolina, expert witness from the Alec Murdaugh trial, currently Chief Deputy of the Orangeburg County Sheriff's Office. You recognize him, Dr. Kenny Kinsey of Kenny Kinsey and Associates. Joining us in Barrington, Rhode Island, board-certified forensic pathologist, Dr. Priya Banerjee. In Jacksonville, Alabama, forensic death investigator, professor of forensics at Jacksonville State University, host of the very popular Body Bags podcast, Joseph Scott Morgan. And in Salt Lake City, Utah, retired police commander, host of Profiling Evil on YouTube, Mike King.
I had to check it out, Profiling Evil.
Whew, great to see everyone. Guys, I'm just going to go ladies first. I'm sorry. We'll start with Dr. Priya Banerjee. We just went through these autopsy results. As you listen to them and you look at the results here, is it consistent with someone being struck as someone is backing up a car?
Well, I think, you know, it really depends on the body conformation, the body position, but potentially that forearm could be a pattern from the car, from a car parked. But I think really what it shows is that, I mean, that's not typical for a dog bite. Usually.
Amen. Okay. I mean, I don't know what this chick's an expert in, but he said they're experts. You know, it ain't just me. Like that is not, I've been bit by a German Shepherd. Okay, 2 German Shepherds, and they have a lower jaw. Okay, so when you get bit by them, you're just not going to have a top wound. You're going to have bottom wounds, just like a person. Just like if I bit you, you're going to have a top wound and you're going to have my bottom teeth. Okay, this would be a dog that only had top teeth. That don't happen. That's why I knew it wasn't an animal attack. Okay, if they were said this is claw marks from a dog, I could say it ain't that either, because then it's missing claws. Okay, then it's missing claws. So it's not a dog bite. It's not dog scratches. Okay. Now, if somebody just kept saying it's a dog bite, and showed it to you, you might think it's a dog bite. But if nobody said anything about a dog and just showed you these wounds, you wouldn't go, oh, that's dog bites. Facts.
You have like the canine punctures and then small marks from the.
How about a canine?
I said the same thing. This lady, at least you know your shit. You got your canine teeth. You got the teeth inside of that. Where are they at? Where are the inside teeth? When dogs bite, they don't just sink a little bit of their teeth into you. You know, they ain't spiders. They don't just put their fangs in you and pull them out. They sink. Okay. Where's the rest of the teeth marks? I agree with her 100%. Right here, copyright disclaimer under section 107 of the Copyright Fair Act 1976, allowing is made for fair use. Okay. This is for educational purposes. I'm trying to educate you guys on the Karen Reed situation, what is going on and what evidence they do have. Okay. And I agree it's not dog bites. This lady agrees it ain't dog bites. Some of you guys in here may believe it's dog bites, but it ain't like a dog bite I ever seen. Okay.
Scratch.
I still think that's less likely.
Gotcha.
I've seen various dog bites, and I think, I mean, if you mean canine scratch from his nails or from his teeth, maybe from the nails, but I still think they're too close together.
How about the multiple skull fractures? The multiple skull fractures.
That's really where the money is. That's the really most concerning part. The skull is not going to fracture without a significant impact. So
I said the same thing. Okay, at least she sounds like me. Look, like I said, I've seen Francis Ngannou punch people in the head. Okay, he just fought Tyson Fury. According to them, he has the strongest punch on record, and he ain't cracking people's skulls. Now, I wouldn't want to be, he might knock my head off because I'm a small guy. But dudes his size, he's not cracking their skulls open. You know what I'm saying? You really got to hit somebody pretty damn hard to crack the cranium. You got to remember, when they do autopsies and stuff, they have to cut your head open with a bone saw. It's pretty strong. Okay. So it has to be some impact. And I guess guaranteed when he fell, that car hit him. He probably hit him like this, and he flew back. That glass broke. Boom, hit him in the head with the thing. He flew back, hit the ground, cut his arm, and laid there. And tragically, RIP to John O'Keefe, lost his life.
whether he's hit somewhere else and falls and hits his head, or is run over and that's causing the skull fractures. And
He wasn't ran over. There's no signs that he's ran over. If he was ran over, there'd be tire tracks and shit on him. He'd have broken bones and things like that. He wasn't ran over. He was just struck. Okay. I believe when he was struck, and when he was struck, he flew back, right? He didn't get like, he back over him. You know what I'm saying? He would have injuries to his legs. He would have injuries to shit. He had way more injuries than what's just going on with him right now if she was to back over him. Okay. I just believe she struck him with the vehicle and he flew back and he hit his head on the concrete. Let me tell you, the concrete don't play, baby. It don't play. There's no give in that shit. Your head is going to give before that concrete is.
the laceration, you're getting the black eyes from blood draining from the inside. It's not from being punched in the face. So really, we call those raccoon eyes. You see that, like, it's a medical term where emergency personnel, you know, anybody who deals with trauma knows, oh my gosh, this is a critical injury because there's a basilar skull fracture. So the base of the skull is crushed. It has, and all that blood's leaking down. That in and of itself is can be lethal. Obviously, he survived a little bit for the rest of his body to be stressed in the cold weather. And those hypothermia findings are non-specific, like we see them, we don't. But all in all, I would have to agree that there was an element of hypothermia.
Yeah, I mean, he laid in the snow for hours. But the whole thing is, what caused him to lay in the snow? We know that hypothermia and blunt force trauma killed him, which combination with hypothermia. But if he had never hit his head, of course, he would have never got hypothermia unless he would have just stood out there and froze to death for no reason. I'm just saying, cause and effect. The cause was he hit his head, he was incapacitated, and hypothermia started to set in.
Joseph Scott Morgan, what does your gut tell you on the level of these injuries and the allegations here that there's a drop off and then she backs into him with the right rear part of the truck? It's an SUV.
Yeah, this SUV, I think that it.
So the whole thing about this is, for people that are arguing about they planted this taillight stuff. Okay. So they didn't find no taillight pieces at John O'Keefe's house where she allegedly backed into his vehicle. Okay. Because she cracked the taillight. Allegedly. She remembers all that, right? But according in the beginning of this, she didn't remember even going to the house. And then they told her, hey, we seen you at the house. And then she changed her story. Inconsistent statements. There's no taillight pieces at her house. Time the police took the car, it was an active investigation. There was other police out there at that point, news media and things of that nature. You can't just go out there and plant evidence in front of everybody. Okay.
It's significant. Also, you've got a broken tail light that's in play here.
Oh, we're going to get there. We'll get to the tail light.
I didn't mean to. I'm not intending to bury the lead here, Ben, but this is significant because one of the reports reads that he was holding a glass and that they found shards of glass that may have been embedded in the bumper. And back to the doctor's point just a moment ago, relative to these injuries that you're seeing, one of the things that we look for in pedestrian strikes with motor vehicle accidents is we look for something called bumper marks. Generally, you see them on the leading edge of a car. If somebody is standing erect and they're trying to cross the street, one of the things that you see is that they're struck, generally around the knees, that sort of thing. Ben, he doesn't have any insults, it sounds like, really inferior to his hips. Everything is kind of taking place up above that. It would almost give you potentially the indication that he was in an asymmetric.
Or he was bent over. Okay. He was leaned over and it struck his head before it struck his knees.
Symmetrical position relative to this vehicle, with this vehicle potentially towering over him as she's impacting him. I think that that's kind of significant. And these scratches on the arms, I'm fascinated by this because it's cold weather, Vin, as you have well stated. He would have had layered clothing on, Vin. So this is not something, these injuries, I know the head trauma requires a tremendous amount of force, but this could very well be consistent with almost a rollover type event where the vehicle is running over him to generate this through a layer of clothing. However, we are absent one key piece here. We don't know how he was clothed at this point. So that's going to be significant.
That's going to be significant. All right. Let's take a look here at Dr. Kinsey.
Yeah, because if he was wearing long sleeves and a jacket, that does make sense that you wouldn't necessarily have those cuts. Yeah, I don't know exactly how he was dressed either. I remember the pictures from the bar. We could kind of go back and look, but that don't mean I can't recall right off the top of my head. Does anybody know how he was dressed? I mean, I remember seeing the video. I would have to go back and pull it up and look again because I remember they looked happy in the bar. They didn't look like they were fighting. She said he wasn't wearing a coat. Okay, well, then that would make more sense. All right. No coat for some reason. Well, people that, live in cold environments, they get used to the cold. They ain't like me. I'm cold. I got to have 15 jackets on, heater blowing on my feet. Karen said he had no jacket on. Okay. All right. And I guess that would make sense. You know, make that hypothermia set in even faster, laying out there with no heat, nothing to keep your heat in either.
Evidence found near O'Keefe's body, okay? So he's in that front yard area. The snow has fallen down. As Joseph Scott Morgan was saying, they located a broken cocktail-style glass and multiple patches of red that appeared to be blood in the vicinity of where the body had been located. The Canton officers secured the glass and 6 blood samples from the snow as evidence. We also have to note that his cell phone was found underneath his body, not in a pocket, but loose and under his body. Dr. Kinsey.
Well, it makes sense that his phone was loose because you got to remember he was just texting with the lady inside the house about where to park and where they were going. So of course he wouldn't have his cell phone in his pocket, you know, because she was sending messages. So he was probably texting. So he probably had the phone in his hand. You know, it's common that I carry my phone in my hand. Maybe. I mean, that's just a possibility.
Putting the pieces together that we have so far, what is it telling you?
Well, Vinny, I got to agree with the fine doctor and certainly the professor. Both of them have great points. And looking at those injuries on the victim, things I noticed was their uniform and they're very symmetric. I'm agreeing with doctor and professor. I believe we may have the victim down, and I would start looking for something under that vehicle that can make those injuries.
Right there, he may have been bent down, picking his phone up, struck by the vehicle, struck him in the head instead of the legs. I mean, I don't exactly know. And still just don't go into if she did it on purpose or she did it by accident. Has Dolly the text message or the voicemail has been released? I don't know.
Because they don't look like an animal injury to me. And certainly they are uniform to the trained eye. So I'd start looking under that vehicle and see what kind of evidence I have. And maybe they have that. Maybe that's what they're banking on in this. But that is where I would have started.
Okay.
Makes sense. Take a look at see if there's anything on the vehicle that could have made them marks, you know, and then use that in court. Say, look, these marks were made by this vehicle. This all lines up. You know what I'm saying?
Lexus SUV, Mike King. They observed fragments of broken glass on the rear bumper of the vehicle. The rear right passenger side tail light was shattered, and pieces were observed missing from the red and clear areas. On the right side of the rear tailgate, a deep scratch and minor dent were observed. On the right side of the rear bumper, above a small red light, 2 scratches were observed, and one area where paint was chipped off. Does that sound like that could...
Okay, so what if the prosecution goes in there and they say, we found a piece of chipped paint on the clothing or on the body of John O'Keefe? I mean, would that say that car hit him, right? You know, how we know that ain't the smoking gun or something.
Happened from striking and killing John O'Keefe.
Absolutely. And I think that's the elephant in the room that nobody wants to talk about, is the fact that there is physical evidence that supports that there was a collision between that vehicle and some object, and his body happens to have a whole bunch of damage to it. I'm a kid from the Utah mountains, Vinny. I know what it's like in the snow, and I know how easy it would have been for him to slip or fall and that car to roll under him. And I'm really looking forward to what forensics they might.
Yeah, what if he got out the vehicle? Okay, you know what I'm saying? And he fell and she didn't see him. I mean, this could be a tragic accident. I can't say that she murdered this man, but just because the kids are saying they're fighting, some couples fight. That don't mean they'll kill each other. I think she was drunk. This may just be a bad accident, because if she really wanted them dead, would she have went back? Would she would have tried to revive them? Any of those things? No. I just think she was fucking drunk and she's done hit this man, and you know, that's why you don't drink and drive.
might recover from underneath that vehicle. Doesn't look like dog bites to me, and it certainly fits the scenario, but they got to answer the elephant.
It don't look like dog bites to anybody but Turtleboy, Baby Gap, and Karen Reed in her defense. You know, that's who it looks like dog bites to.
In the room, how did that broken glass get there? How did that cocktail glass get embedded in the bumper? How did that vehicle?
That is damaging. You know, any Turtle Riders, hey, Turtle Nation, you want to explain that one? How did the glass, his drinking glass, get embedded into the bumper of that vehicle? I'm curious. Anybody got an answer for that one? Is there a theory behind, you know, does Turtleboy got a theory for that one? Like they planted that glass in the bumper, or is it? I seen a gash like from a tailpipe. Anybody know? How did the glass get embedded into the bumper of the vehicle? Because there wouldn't have been no way when she backed into the other vehicle, you know, allegedly, that glass would have got into her bumper because she didn't bust nothing on the other vehicle. Stage, they have experience at this. Okay. Stage. That's the answer we get. It's just stage. They planted the glass in the bumper. Or he threw the glass at the car and she got pissed and backed into him hard. Damn. Okay, for throwing it, she's like, oh, you just hit my new Lexus. I mean, I don't know. Sounds just as, you know, sounds just as likely as a bunch of cops killed a dude with no motive and threw him in the front yard.
End up leaving the scene of an accident, because I'm sure they're going to be able to compare that broken glass and that vehicle together.
All right, let me throw a little curveball at everyone when it comes to that right rear tail light. Here's Karen Reed's defense attorney showing another piece of evidence that they uncovered. Take a look.
The taillight was intact when she left Brian Albert's house. She came home, and this was Karen leaving to begin the frantic search for John O'Keefe. Now, I don't know that you can see it from the video that you have there, but there is no doubt that when that SUV comes into contact with what is John O'Keefe's vehicle parked in the driveway, you can see that rear tire move forward. It rotates.
I agree that she tapped the vehicle. How do we know she didn't do that on purpose, though? Right? How do we know she didn't do that on purpose?
And you also see the light
and don't listen to this. That is a newer Lexus. She has a backup cam. Right? Look, if she backed up into that car, that's because she's still probably intoxicated at 6 o'clock in the morning from drinking. Okay. She has a backup camera on that car, and she just backed up into that vehicle. Okay. So that's the second thing she's done backed into that night. First thing she backed into was John O'Keefe. Now she done backed into his car.
Shatter from the taillight being broken.
But there ain't no broken pieces. Look, you can look at the damn snow right there. There ain't nothing broken on the ground. Right? You can see the tire track all the way past it. Do you see any broken taillight pieces? See anything red on the ground? I mean, I know this is night vision. It'd probably be hard to see, but you don't see nothing that appears to be on the ground. They didn't find no broken glass at John O'Keefe's house. They didn't find no taillight pieces. For some reason, all the broken taillight pieces magically ended up at damn where she hit John O'Keefe.
All right. What do you think of that? So they've got at 5 a.m., so this is after the drop-off. She's already gone home. Now she's going back to try to find John O'Keefe. That's her story. She backs into John's car in the driveway.
Pretty convenient when she has a backup camera and a new Lexus. You know what I'm saying? She's still drunk at 6 in the morning. What it shows me, 6 o'clock in the morning, she's still effed up.
And we see John's car shake. Who wants this one? Who wants it?
The lights look uniform to
back,
me as she pulls away. I don't see any glass. I don't see any kind of physical disruption.
Okay, so you don't think that's what caused the damage here?
That video right there proves the vehicle may have the alert sensor when you back up and hit things, and she clearly ignored that alert. Yeah, and just, you know, a new Lexus like that is going to have a backup camera in it. They come stock in those vehicles, you know. So she didn't look at the camera. She was still intoxicated at 6 a.m. Was that enough to break the light out the vehicle? You know, I mean, possibly, but there would be taillight pieces there. And how did them pieces get to her house? You would have to go with the conspiracy again, that the police picked those pieces up from John O'Keefe's house, took them over there to where his body was, and sprinkled them in the yard.
Dr. Kinsey, you don't think so either?
No, sir, Vinny. That looked to me like bumper to bumper, and it was such low impact. I didn't, at least with my eyes, I did not see any broken taillight lens.
And you agree, Mike?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't see any glass fall into the ground there. And how are they going to respond to this? If forensically they tie that glass to sitting where O'Keefe's body is recovered, that's going to be a tall mountain to climb.
We shall see. All right. Big thank you, Dr. Priya Banerjee. Appreciate your time tonight. The rest of the crew is staying with us. We've got more evidence to go through piece by piece tonight as we try to figure out what happened to Officer John O'Keefe.
Okay, John O'Keefe, man. It appears that he was hit by a vehicle.
I was awakened by my brother screaming.
Pounding on the door. Bang, bang, bang.
Clearly stating the location data in John O'Keefe's phone, which again was found beneath his body outside on the lawn, shows that he did not go in the house.
Okay, so I need to rewind that for all the turtle riders that keep saying that he went in the house. His cell phone data, trust me, Vinny ain't gonna lie to you. Vinny's a pretty cool dude. The cell phone data, man, he never went in the house. Okay, if he didn't go in the house, how did this fight occur? All right, how did the fight occur? Troop Nation in there. How did this fight occur? Fill me in. How did this fight occur if he never went in the house? All right. Trooper Seeker says I like Vinny. Vinny's a cool bitch. All right. How did it happen? They beat him to death in the front yard? The dog attacked him in the front yard?
Okay. Now, the defense says they don't have all of the information from prosecutors yet, but they do have information about his Apple Health data on the phone for John O'Keefe. They're on my show. Here's what they say about the phone evidence in this case.
The Apple Health data that Alan referenced earlier shows that he did walk, I think, approximately 80 steps and went up and down approximately 3 flights of stairs.
So he was in a high-rise building. Okay. Now we know that that ain't right. Them Apple things are not right. Go put it on for people that want to test this. You can test this yourself and go do any kind of walking. It'll tell you all kinds of shit. You count your steps. 2.
You don't do that by getting out of a vehicle and being struck by the vehicle.
So what gives here? Let's bring back in our experts. Dr. Kenneth Kinsey is still with us, as is, of course, Joseph Scott Morgan and Mike King. So, Dr. Kinsey, I'll start with you. You've got location data. Prosecutor says did not go in the house, but yet the defense says the Apple Health data is saying he took 80 steps. He's going up and down the stairs. What gives here?
Well, Vinny, you know, we've seen that phone evidence before in a real close county to where I'm sitting right now, and it's always subjective. You can find, you know, one bit of data on one source, and it may not be in line or may not agree with the other source. So I believe it's however it's presented, analyzed and presented, and, you know, let that jury weigh in on it.
What are your thoughts, Joseph Scott Morgan, when it comes to this phone data? We know how significant this is. And we know in the trial where Dr. Kinsey was the star witness, how specific the evidence was about where Alec Murdaugh was. I could like picture him.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they do use a lot of this phone evidence to convict people. And I've seen people in there say that, well, they're going to need to let some people out of jail because they've used a lot of this shit to convict people. You're right. You know, they have. You know what I'm saying? But is it always accurate? I don't think it is.
Him walking around was such a great testimony in that case. What do you think here when the Apple Health is talking about 80 steps, up and down 3 flights of stairs? The defense is going to argue that he was going down in the basement. There's a lot of stuff happening down there during this after party. What are your thoughts?
Okay, well, I'll put it to you this way. Contrary to what we might think in the world in which we indwell nowadays, phones are, in fact, inanimate objects. They don't move on their own. So how are you going to put that phone into his hand necessarily? And I think that that can be argued, and any sharp attorney could make that argument as well. You know, how can it be stated that he was physically holding that phone as it moved about? And that's, you know, that's the big point of contention here. Yes, the phone is moving about, but how do you place it?
Yeah, but with a phone like that, say you got your Apple Fit on or whatever it may be, your GPS is going to know if you moved or not. Like, we know, I know for a fact that the Fitbits and the Apple Step thing are not accurate. They're not accurate.
It actually into this gentleman's hand to facilitate that movement. And I think that that's a question that could be asked before the jury, and it's certainly something that would be quite thought-provoking.
Mike King, your thoughts about the conflict of this phone evidence? I think it's so significant in this case because I was so convinced by what happened down in Low Country.
Well, Kenny and Joe are both absolutely correct in 2 areas. One, and the one thing that I want to say is that that phone physically has to move around, and you got to be able to talk about it. But there is a thing called cellular drift. And when you're talking broadband, Vinny, things get really tricky here. A horizontal location, like Dr. Kinsey saw in the Murdaugh case, is one thing. Being able to say he walked from this point to this particular point. When you start bringing into it a vertical axis and you start looking at that Z coordinate, things get a lot dicier. And it's going to take for even a
Basically means this shit ain't accurate, you know, in idiot terms, the shit ain't accurate.
A pretty good signal. It's going to take one satellite that's exactly overhead and about 3 that are surrounding that to bring that triangulated and then quadrated information together to say, yeah, I think it's in about this area. But all the experts agree that vertical change could be anywhere from 35 to 70 feet. That's close to 7 stories. So you got to really take into account that, you know, think about an airplane pilot when they go in and they set the barometer on their airplane. That's going to tell them whether they're going to fly into a mountain or not, because weather can change it. The interior of a building can change elevation. All of that can be something that could impact this. And so this isn't an easy answer, and it is going to take the experts to get in and really dice this out and help a jury understand. And frankly, 70 feet's an awfully big area to try to compensate for.
I don't know. I mean, if you know that the phone is not always accurate, right? And you know it's not 100 all the time, I think it's pretty plain and simple. That they're saying the phone never went into the house, but you're having a Fitbit thing that don't keep up with things accurate. I don't know. I mean, I do see the point that it will make people think, well, oh, that don't make sense. So they may question it, but it's still enough to go, this lady didn't back into her old man. The rest of it, though, okay? What about how did it would have to be the whole shit is bad.
All right, it's a big issue. Okay, everyone stay where you are. When we come back, I've got something else you need to know about this case, plus coming up next hour.
In DeKalb County, Georgia, Quenisha Johnson was found not guilty of murder, but convicted of the voluntary manslaughter of her boyfriend. She was sentenced to prison by the judge, but is still walking around free. How did her lawyer, Michael Sterling, make that happen? Tonight, we find out.
I mean, they say people show no remorse. I'm very remorseful. It's because I don't sit there and tear cry, and I can't cry on cue.
It seems everything is consistent, very consistent with the theory of the prosecution. That the car struck John O'Keefe, the car that Karen Reed was driving. Well, now let's take a look at something else you need to know about this case, folks. It's a Google search. How long to die in cold? How long to die in cold? Is this the smoking gun? Is this the smoking Google?
No, because now we know. We've seen the blog come out. Like I posted, I think I still got it copied right here, where the guy shows you that when you open the tabs, all right, this is the link to it, guys. I'm posting right here. When you open the tabs on your phone, that you can search at a later time, and it will still say you searched at the time that you opened the tab on the phone. Okay, we got to understand how these technologies work. Some people don't realize it, but that is basically how it goes down. That link that I just posted is to a blog that basically is the person that's going to testify for the prosecution that, hey, these searches were made that following morning after John O'Keefe was discovered. They were concerned if he, you know, how long could he make it in the cold. So she searched it, and that is as simple as that. This is nowhere near a smoking gun. It's like, it's pretty easily explained, and the guy goes through it step by step with you in that blog, and he shows you how it happens. He shows you screenshots of it. He brings all the receipts. He shows you what he's searching. He searches something else. He shows you the times from it, and he shows you how this could be absolutely the case.
Alan Jackson, the attorney for Karen Reed, explains the significance of this search.
Why is Jennifer McCabe one of the parties that was inside the house that night, the sister-in-law of Brian Albert? Why was she Google searching? How long does it take for a human body to die in the cold? The Apple Cocoa core data indicates, or the core time indicates exactly what time that Google search occurred. That time was at 2:27 and 40 seconds in the morning on January 29th. That's 3.5 hours before John O'Keefe's body was found.
That's when she opened the tab, okay, her search tab. Now, whatever she put in the search tab was the following morning, and that was how long to die in the cold. But the phone registered it as she opened that tab at 2:21 a.m. Okay. And if she knew he was outside, why would she be sending messages to him talking about where you at? Okay.
All right. Let's, I'm going to start with Mike King on this one. Google search 2:27. I mean, shouldn't we all be able to agree what time a Google search is done? It seems like there's a disagreement here. Otherwise, I mean, Jennifer McCabe is Googling how long to die in cold, perhaps at 2:27.
Now, I wish Vinny would have just, you know, blog would have came out a little sooner, because this video is a few weeks old, to where he could have took a look at this, and you understand how it's easily understandable how this could happen.
Yeah, we've heard some evidence that suggests that maybe she was instructed to look that up. But bottom line is, how did that happen? And then I guess the bigger question to me, Vinny.
So wait, are turtles from that dude's live, or do you have turtles here too? I'm getting confused. We are the turtle gang. Okay, that turtle boy, turtle rider shits. We the turtles. This turtle gang. Why you think people put turtles up? I ain't turtle boy. I am the turtle king. Okay, crown long time ago. Turtle Island, baby.
Is why was it deleted? And that certainly casts a lot of question. And this one is going to boil down to the totality of the evidence. And I'll tell you, when things like this happen, it sure makes it a lot brighter for the defense.
Where are my turtles at? Them ain't Turtle Boy. Them ain't Turtle Boy Live turtles. Them are Turtle Gang turtles. The real deal, official. Okay. OMG, no comparison, right? I never watched one Turtle Boy video ever. Right? See? Yeah, there's my turtles. I see my turtles now representing. All right, throw your shells up.
It does. Joseph Scott Morgan, what
Turtle
are your thoughts?
King,
Google
baby.
searches, we see them in cases all the time. It's this digital evidence that is so significant. If someone inside the house is Googling how long to die in the cold at 2:27 and 40 seconds, that I have no explanation. I have no innocent.
Okay, yeah, we're the Turtle Gang. If you're brand new, I'm Dolly. We're the Turtle Gang. Okay, we were the Turtle Gang way before this Turtle Boy shit. Okay, people refer to me as the Turtle King. So it's just crazy. This really is like turtle on turtle violence right now. Okay, turtle fights.
An explanation for that.
Yeah, it's very, very hard to explain. You know, and particularly for it doesn't matter what any of us on this panel think. What really is important here is how is this going to be presented to the jury, Vin? And all of the members of this jury live in this environment. You know, Mike is the outlier here for us tonight.
Oh, okay,
He's the fellow that's had exposure to really cold weather. You know, we're down here in the deep South, but you know, when you begin to think about the impact, they understand because that's the environment that they live in. They know what a lethal environment this is. Why would someone want to seek that particular information out at that particular time on a night when I think that many of us can agree, and the medical examiner also opined that they believe that hypothermia actually played a role in the death of this man, in addition to this massive head trauma that he sustained. As a matter of fact, the cold may have
I mean, I think, you know, he wasn't going to survive just the head trauma alone, you know. I think that was enough. I think the hypothermia, that was just an add-on. Like, he probably wouldn't have, even if they would have got him to the hospital after he hit his head, the chances are he would have, that head injury alone would have killed him.
Sustained him for a little bit longer, as opposed to have been in more temperate weather that particular time. It slowed down the process, but either way, he died later at the hospital.
Dr. Kinsey, what are your thoughts about this Google search? Do you think it's potentially that prosecutors will prove that it was done at a different time and that you're going to have experts saying Google searches are at different times? I mean, to me, I've never seen that in a trial.
Keep Dolly alive.
Vinny, it definitely has a nefarious tone to it. And I believe we're going to see that this is going to be one of the largest hurdles that the prosecution is going to have to overcome. And, you know, they probably know parts of the nuances of the electronic and computer evidence that we don't have.
That is absolutely true. And that stuff is coming out now. Okay. And like I said, take a look at this link, guys. You know, if you get a minute, just take a look at it. Go over it, and then later, you know, tonight or something when I go live, you can tell me what you think about that. You know, that can show you right there that the times are not exactly. A lot of it's when you open these tabs, and this blog will explain to you how those tabs work, how it saves it. It includes screenshots with arrows that make it easy to understand. Just go through that, read that, look at what is up there, and then you'll understand how this transpired. Because, you know, this lady's saying that she did search that. That's not in question. But it was searched that morning when they were wondering how long you could live out there being in the cold, you know, because they were curious if John O'Keefe was going to make it.
But I look for this to be possibly a game changer. However, throwing rocks at everyone, it does not work well in front of a jury, at least with my experience. So, you know, the defense has to be really, really careful about whose name they drag through the mud. But, you know, they have a job. They have to zealously defend their client. And I've seen it before, and I'm sure the fine commander and the professor have as well.
You know, Mike, as I look at that statement, and I always look at evidence this way, you know, DNA and other evidence. Like, if Karen Reed.
Somebody says Turtle Boy should be called Pickle Boy.
had Googled that. That would be the headline for prosecutors, right? If she Googled that, that would be their headline. So I'm trying to understand if it comes out in front of this jury that it was at 2:27, this is almost a game over kind of thing.
Well, unless they're able.
Or you, even if she did it at 2:27, how long does it take to die? And that ain't. I ask Alexa questions all the time. You don't even want to know what I ask my Alexa. You know what I'm saying? I be asking weird ass shit all the time. What if I was curious? You know what I'm saying? It might. There's weird ass coincidences in this world, but according to this person, this was done the following morning, and the search. You know, like I said, if you look at that blog, read over that stuff that I posted a link to, that it is absolutely possible that this search engine noticed the time she opened the tab and she made this search later at a different time. I mean, I think that's pretty easy to prove, and the prosecutors are going to be able to prove that. So when they start saying, oh, well, what about this search? And then the person's going to go, they're going to testify that, yeah, I made this search. I made it that following morning because they were panicking and we were wondering if John O'Keefe was okay. I think that's easily explainable to a jury. And why would this woman have to lie? Everything's a conspiracy. She's lying to cover up this. I don't think that to be the case.
To bring in the other evidence that explains it, and some of that we're starting to see a hand tipped here and there that maybe she was encouraged to look that up. Who was she encouraged by?
But who's encouraging her to look that up? At 2:27, at 2:27, she's with her brother-in-law and everybody else at that party, while John O'Keefe is laying outside dying.
Yeah, and I might be wrong, Vinny, but it seems to me like I heard somewhere along the line that
Dolly, if Karen searched that, you'd be ripped her apart. Don't lie. If Karen searched it, how long? I would rip her apart. Because I believe she hit him. You know what I'm saying? I don't think this other lady had anything to do with it. Now, let's just say she did search at 2:21. Okay. She searched maybe curiosity. But that ain't what she's saying. This is a woman that don't have a criminal record. Okay. She don't have any reason to lie. She don't have any motive to kill John O'Keefe. You could say her motive to cover it up is because she's friends with everybody inside. But that many moving pieces, only one person would have to tell. And what stops these people from blackmailing each other in the future? It's too many moving pieces for everybody to be corrupt. I still feel that way. And like I know now, because, you know, I went through and seen that it is possible that you can open a search engine at one time, search something later, and it show up at a different time. All right. And I think that's going to be easy for them to prove in court. So to me, the Google search is really, you know, it's going to go into technical stuff that most jurors are not going to understand. Okay. So they're going to say, they did this. And they're going to say, well, this was made at a different time. They're going to argue that. But I don't think the jury is going to get so locked on this Google search. Okay. I think it's going to be more looking at these taillight pieces, this glass inside the bumper, things of that nature that can tie her to actually hitting him. Okay. It don't matter what the fucking lady searched. If she hit him.
She was contacted by Reed through a text or something to talk about this. And I could be completely off base.
That's later on in the morning. I think it's later on in the morning is when that happens. And that's when the alleged confession comes through and everything else, where she says, did I hit him? I think I may have hit him. Could I have hit him? So if that would make sense, if the timestamp makes sense, but the contact isn't until like 5 o'clock in the morning between Karen and Jennifer McCabe. So I don't know, but
okay. So like I said, you know, I posted a link that explain a lot of that timestamp stuff to you guys, that, you know, you can open these search engines, and them engines know what time you open them, and you can make searches and it's still clocking it at this time that you open these browsers. So we'll find that out on March 12th anyway. They're going to go over all that stuff. We'll be able to see what goes on. Like I said, I might even pop in person. Okay. Dolly. All right. But we'll see more and more of what they have, in their deck of cards against her, because they're going to bring in their experts, of course, the defense, they're going to bring in their experts, to try to, but nobody can give me a motive whatsoever of why these people would want John O'Keefe dead. Not nobody. All right. Nobody that's came through yet has been able to give me a solid motive other than they went in the house and a fight happened and they threw the person in the front yard. Okay. That sounds pretty stupid. Okay. Yes. Turtle Island has been moved to tonight. Okay. Our game show. Turtle Island is tonight. Me and PJ must have been tired last night. We passed out and slept right through Turtle Island. Okay. We was like, all right, let's take us a little nap, relax for a little bit. Next thing you know, it was like 11 o'clock at night. We were like, oh shit, we missed Turtle Island. Must have needed the rest, must have needed the rest. So Turtle Island has been moved till tonight. All right. Of course, we'll be doing Turtle Island around 10 o'clock, 10 to midnight is usually always 2 hours long. Sometimes we have a special show that may end up being longer, but on the average, about 2 hours exactly. Hopefully I'll see you guys there tonight. Now, some of these videos may have changed your mind that Karen Reed's innocent. I don't think nothing I've seen today, okay, has made me change my mind about her doing it, okay? Because there's still no motive for anybody else to do it. Still seems to me it points at her. I can't say she purposely did it. I just think this may be a tragic accident because she did try to go back to help. And if she was really trying to kill him, would she go back to help? Probably not. So that's what makes me lean towards this is just a tragic accident that, just think about this. If Turtleboy is wrong, he's accused. Oh, this is for Turtleboy. He's accused all these people, right? He's accused all these people. Why didn't he just wait to see what transpires and then, go after these people, see if Karen Reed's guilty or not? You know what I'm saying? If a jury finds her guilty fairly without trying to harass these people or intimidate, okay? Because that's basically what it is, intimidating a witness so they don't want to show up. I'm going to make your life so hell, so shitty, you're going to regret doing what you do. And that's why there's laws against it. And believe it or not, I believe when it's said and done, Karen Reed is going to get a little bit of time, right? Probably end up doing a little bit of time. Turtleboy, probably a little bit of time. And then, of course, Turtleboy is getting sued. He's getting sued by multiple people from what I'm hearing already. Okay, I'm hearing rumors, boop, 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 little rumors. There's multiple lawsuits coming down on Turtleboy. Okay, he's going to be getting sued by more people than Bullhorn Betty. Okay, there's some lawsuits coming. I will see you guys later today. I will be back. Dolly got to go get him some lunch. My stomach's starting to growl. So I will see you guys later. Tell me what you think in the comment box. Is Karen Reed innocent or is she guilty? And I will see you guys next time. Peace.